everyone says they like smart girls. Do y'all like? Do y'all actually like smart girls? I mean, I do. I legitimately.
I do because I like fierce debates.
There's a lot of people who like the ditzy girl.
I always end up with women I can have fierce debates with, and I love it. I absolutely
if
love it.
I can't have an intellectual conversation with you, I can't have sex with you either. Just
dude,
honesty, man.
If my fucking boyfriend isn't smart, like I'm not doing it. Like fuck that, dude.
Okay,
what do you consider smart?
Wait,
so like,
time out. Let's remove boyfriend from the equation. What about just the guy that you hook up with? Does he need to be smart? Does he need to be an intellectual?
No. If it's
okay, thank you. Okay,
if it's a grinder hookup, I'm not gonna like sit here and debate philosophy.
Right, of course not.
I heard them grinder streets is crazy.
I get it.
My gay friends
I would.
Grinder streets is like
grinder is not a place to debate philosophy. If you ever go to grinder, you're not getting a hot take. All right.
Let's like just put this down. Like if you're on a website, you're looking for somebody, and they're just coming over for like one night. You both know what y'all there for.
Which website?
I mean, you don't necessarily both always know why you're there. But...
Yeah, I think that's the issue, right?
Look for one night stands.
What?
Like I'm open to having casual sex, but I don't look for one night stands. I was about to say, like, I think it's different. Like, it would be cool. Like, if it goes good, like, I'm open. I want to do it again. Generally, like, I'm
sure.
Yeah, I don't know. Some people have a thing with like looking for one night stands. Like,
I'll fully admit, some of my best female friends that I have are actually chicks that I met on like Tinder and shit like that.
Yep.
Like, I just happen to think like, oh, you're actually like a cool ass person.
I don't want a
so like, I enjoy talking to you.
I unfortunately have not met like anybody that I would consider a friend through online dating, but that's great to hear, honestly.
It's just like, well, we just like realized.
I don't online date. I still masturbate manually.
Yeah, I haven't made a friend on Grinder. Yeah, that's
Grinder.
I don't know. I don't know what it is, but I can't do that. But
I mean, do you just like up and leave right afterwards?
Well, another thing is
usually or ghost.
Yeah, well, see, there you go. That might be why.
Well, that's just because I haven't met the right people, you know.
But why? I don't understand.
Well, the thing about college for me is that there are so many other ways to make friends, like parties, class. Like, why the fuck would I go to Grinder to make a fucking friend? Like, seriously? You wouldn't.
Well, I think Grinder and Tinder have slightly different purposes. Just very slightly different.
Not really.
I feel like Tinder you can definitely make a friend on.
These aren't where you're gonna form long-lasting relationships.
I think pre-COVID, like we could go out and parties for stuff, but like just think about like right where we at right now. Grindr.
Find me a fucking straight man that's trying to fucking make a friend on Tinder, and I'll give you a goddamn.
No. Hold on. I want to push back on this. I want to push back. I don't understand. See, like, I don't understand the mentality. Like, you've had a sex with a person, and it wasn't to form a relationship. It was just, physical or whatever, right? But like afterwards, you can still talk to them. Like, right? You could still have a conversation.
Are you taking them out immediately?
Yeah, if
they're cool,
I'll tell you this. I'll tell you the situation.
I don't want to talk to them afterwards.
So the most recent situation. Yeah, so the most recent situation where shit like this happened, so I went over to Chick's house, like, of course, stuff happens. We have a movie going on in the background though, and like when we're done, as I'm like clean it up and everything, I look over and like I get caught in this movie for like 5 or 10 minutes, ask her about it, and then we started like talking about the actual movie, started going in. She was like, oh yeah, this is actually one of my favorite movies. So we actually started talking about it. 10-15 minutes later, I'm like, oh, you're actually like a somewhat cool person. I'm not just gonna immediately leave right now. Like, I can sit here and have a conversation with you. Now, like, we just randomly talk and everything. Like, sure, we still hook up every now and then, but like, it's mostly just, hey, we're just friends.
You should try post-care
Usually
too.
my conversations don't go like that. Like, I've never been in a hookup where it happens that way. I don't know. Am I fucking...
Me too. But I would also like wonder, like, so where does it go from there? Like, if you could actually hold a conversation and, you're interested in what this person has to say, like, are you then like more serious about this? Like where like does the relationship escalate at all? Or
I mean, it doesn't necessarily have to. Like
if you both want it to, like, then sure. I mean, but if you're talking about, can you just go back to being friends? Of course. Like it's happened with me. I don't know.
Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
I don't mean to be an anecdote, Andy, but I don't know how else you quantify it than.
Oh wait, could you please cite a study? Honestly,
I mean, the same thing happened like before, like Bumble and Tinder were like super popular. Like if I went out to a bar and like ended up going home with some chick, and the next morning, like we sit there and talk for a minute as like I'm getting ready to leave, and I figure out she's actually cool. Sometimes I'd be like, well, do you want to like go grab something to eat real fast, and like we'll sit there and talk for a little bit. And like I've had friends that I've met that way as well. Like I don't know.
I feel really uncomfortable
honestly,
like going to
I
someone
just
else's
haven't
house.
even like.
That's fair.
Because like I'll like if a girl comes to my house, I mean, no, I'm saying no, not like from like a fear perspective. Like don't worry, I'll do it. Like, well, I did do it. I'm in a relationship. I don't even know why I'm acting like I'm still in these streets. I'm locked up. But I was about to say, but like when I was single, like I would go to a girl's house and hook up. But like the only reason I felt uncomfortable staying is because like it's just like I grew up in the South, and it's like the old like saying that like don't overstay your welcome. So I'm like, okay, I done did this. Like I can hang out. I want to hang out and chat, but I'm like, okay, like, she probably wants me to leave. Well, you know,
that kind of is a southern thing.
We call it the Irish goodbye. Where
that's fair. That's fair.
You know, say, but in my house, you're welcome. Say whatever.
Wait, but my question is, why wouldn't you? If you maybe even if you do think that you like might like her or whatever, right? Why wouldn't you just like keep it, to what it is at that moment, and then just be like, hit me up later, like let's see if we're actually compatible, like past the first initial meeting.
Why do you have to wait till later? If you could have a conversation right then and there, why wait?
I don't know.
Why do you
just make it so let things settle.
I'm asking you.
Let things settle.
Somewhere to be.
I'm just about filling out the dynamic.
Just see if it's legit more than just we hooked up and now like I'm in love with you. You know what I mean? Like let's just see if it's
anyone's falling in love right away, dude.
Some people don't.
I've always felt like you really got to look at the dynamic because it shifts.
It happens. I don't know what to tell you.
We're not falling in love.
It shifts, like it just depends on the vibe in the room at the time. You could if you can't get a feel for it, like I mean, that's a little more difficult. But like, you can tell where the other person's at. If like you wake up the next day and they roll over and they look at you, they're like, damn, I ain't got shit to do today. Hey, you want to go take a ride up north to the mountains? Let's go. Fucking hey, rock and roll. Whatever's. Like if it's like, damn, that was great. See you in 2 weeks. All right.
The Uber's on the way. The Uber's here, actually.
Yeah, I called the Uber for you.
Oh man.
Well, and usually if I go over to some chick's house and we smash, and I don't feel like she like wants to continue talking afterwards, I'm probably not staying the night in the first place.
I'm out.
Like, so if I'm waking up the next day at their house, like,
like
you're not.
Just use your normal social skills to determine whether this person wants to keep spending time with you or not.
I'm a talker.
It's that easy.
If you've already like done the deed, I don't know. Like it doesn't seem pertinent to me to like actually make a friend out of that. If I'm being completely fucking honest.
I mean, that's not the goal. If it happens, it happens.
Yeah.
I'm not even gonna lie.
I'm also not trying to shut it down.
People we were supposed to be hooking up, and I've actually talked myself out of it with them while we were sitting there. So talking can go both ways.
I'm more of a talker. Like. If I wouldn't be in that situation.
Panel.
No.
Like, of course we're talking.
But fair enough. Okay, you got me there. But yeah, like if I wouldn't be in a situation with her if I couldn't have held on to a conversation with her, right? If I'm straight up bored. I don't know. Maybe you guys have different experiences, but like I don't think that most women will just come up to you like, okay, we haven't really had any sort of a talk, right? But even on Tinder, right, people like like they have some sort of conversation beforehand, right?
Not always.
Okay, all right. Well, yeah, like I said, your experiences may be different from mine, but the point is that like when I'm interacting with the woman, I'd have to be able to hold a conversation with her in the first place, right? It doesn't have to be a especially deep one, right? It doesn't have to be us like relating our hopes and dreams or anything like that, right? Yeah, but like we're holding a conversation and then we make the decision to go back to someone's place. And so like if I could hold that conversation beforehand, like I'm not awkward about these things. I can hold a conversation afterwards. I chat to women all the time. I'm like, hey, what's up? Like, in fact, afterwards is when I generally have my best conversations with them. Because like, look, we had
post-nut clarity.
Tensions released.
We
post-nut clarity.
We just had.
That's usually not a good thing for like the general relationship.
We
release the nut and everything's clear.
You're in bad relationships.
Good conversation.
Yes, no, you're right. You're totally
really
right.
bad
like honestly,
you're right about that.
Some of y'all are acting like you like meet somebody on Tinder and you just show up at their house like halfway naked, like
this isn't a
rock hard cock already, and you're like, let's go. Like you've never had a conversation with them beforehand. I'm not walking in like already taking my underwear off. Like I'm ready, aren't you?
I'm sure that's happened before,
Man,
man.
I'm
sure what are you doing wrong?
I mean, it's crazy, and it's honestly not even that good. Like I've walked in on hookups like that with girls like you just don't even know, and like I walk in the house and then like, what's up? And she's like, come on, here's my room, and then you like walk back to the room and you like sit on the edge of our bed, and then she just starts taking her clothes. Like, why you still got your clothes on? And I was like, oh crap,
shit,
I don't even. I do not really know your name.
I'd be like, I don't know if I want this now. I'm a little concerned. Like,
it's aggressive.
I'm worried. Like, what am I going to be walking away with? Am I going to have a gift that keeps on giving? Like,
right.
You know.
Dude, let's talk about the fucking weather, or like talk about like how our fucking days are before like we're getting to that level, because
like some of y'all bursting in here like the goddamn Kool-Aid man.
Yeah, right.
A question, a general question that I have for you guys, like I had some dates like from Tinder, and basically I mismanaged that the whole thing because of the fact that I thought they were just looking for some not fun times, but just a regular date, but they wanted to have like fun times, right? So like for me, like generally, like if I'm like genuinely interested in a person, right, and I talk with them on a dating app, right, and but they are in for something different, right? Did you guys ever experience that? Because
just talk.
Dude.
Communication, man.
One of the most tried, tested, and true ways of like finding love is having sex with the person. Yeah. So just like have sex with them, and if you still want to hang out with them after the sex, maybe it's good.
Yes, that's the best thing I've heard all night. Seriously,
that's a salient.
Seriously, no, because we talked about post-nut clarity, and like if you are still into that person after that, then that is something serious.
So I'm saying, how many times have you been attracted to
post-nut clarity?
About the nut,
how many times have you been talking to somebody?
So what if we literally
afterwards? You're just like,
we need a woman in this panel, okay? We need a woman. In robot waiting room, there's someone named Nina Rani. She is a woman.
I'm gay,
bring her in here.
So I can roleplay as a woman if you want.
Okay.
Hey, Prime, I'm about to say, Prime.
Does that make you verse? I don't know.
I don't do hookups, so I can roleplay as the woman too. I guess.
Bam, you want to say something?
Yeah, I was like, I actually have a story. It's like 2 minutes long. It's stream appropriate, but it's actually. I was about to say, I don't know if
no, go ahead.
Okay, cool. So this is like 4 years ago at this point. I've been out the game for a while. But so I met this girl in this girl in my one of my college classes, and like side note, she's a part of a triplet group. This is unrelated to this story, but there's another story involving that.
Yeah.
But,
that sounds fun.
But she, like I said, she was cute, but she was ditzy, and I don't really do ditzy personally. It's just not my thing. So she asked for my number, and I just assumed like, oh, okay, this is related to like class stuff, whatever. Like no big deal. Like, you know. I was like, I don't need help with class, whatever. I just took her number, didn't think anything else about it. So then like 2 weeks go by, and maybe like 11 o'clock on like a random Wednesday, and she calls me like, hey, what are you doing? Nothing. She's like, can I come over? And I was like, I was shocked because I didn't think this was the tip she was on, but I was like, did she want some penis? I was like, why not? Okay, I'm not doing anything else. So I said, sure, come over. So like I take a shower, boom, maybe 20 minutes goes by, she's knocking on my door. I have my own apartment. She knocks on my door, walks in, she's got like her like bag in hand, her overnight bag in hand, and like she's on the phone, and I'm not thinking anything of it. So she walks in the door and reaches out the phone to me, and I'm confused. And I'm like, huh? So I take the phone and I say, hello, and it's her mom.
Yep.
And her mom was like, you guys gonna have some fun tonight? And I don't know what she means by that. So I just say, I guess so. And she was like, all right, well, be safe. And I'm so confused.
Yeah.
I'm like, okay. And so I give her back the phone, whatever. She talks to her mom, and I'm like figuring out like, did I misread? Like, did she like, is this not what it is? Because like I said, this girl is like ditzy, so like she could unironically like have.
No, she's
just
got cool
came
mom.
over and hang out.
No, she was talking about, are you guys having fun in like a general sense, not if you guys have sex.
She's got a
yeah, but she's also like fine with her daughter sleeping over there.
It was
like,
play date.
Yeah.
It was play date.
Yeah.
It was really weird.
Don't
Like,
kill my daughter.
Play date.
That's we haven't even got to the fun
Just
part
to
of the
bring
story
this up,
yet.
I'm sorry not to be awkward, but like, do you call your fat hog a penis?
Yes, I say penis.
Okay, that's pretty awkward.
But
That's pretty
I
awkward.
actually let me get to the
I
best
like
part
to
of the story.
call
That
my
wasn't even
penis a fat
that wasn't
hug.
even the best part. I'm almost done. She comes back to my room, and like I take her back to my room, and she's like, oh yeah, where's your bathroom? Can I freshen up? And I was like, it was weird, like you shouldn't do this before you came over here, but that's whatever. Sure, here's the bathroom. So I'm thinking she's gonna come like lingerie or something, like big t-shirt, whatever. Like she's got something planned. This girl comes out in a full dinosaur onesie, furry onesie with like a dragon like helmet on it with like a
hell yeah
friggin' horn sticking up. And again, this girl is 20, so I am.
Hell yeah!
I am like, I think I'm being punked right now. I'm like, what the heck is this going on? Whatever. So I'm at this point. I'm like,
fly off.
I'm just out of it. No, exactly. Like it was like inverted. I had like an inverted penis. I was not feeling it. So I just like laid down. I was like, I'm not catching the case. Clearly, I'm mixing the messages. This where communication would have been really important. But I am like, this is like 22-year-old me, and I don't feel like doing that. So I say I lay down on one side, she lays down on the other side. Nothing happens.
No.
Middle of the night, I get up, go to the bathroom. Like, and she's like, can we cuddle? So I'm cuddling, whatever, but she's got on like the furry stuff. Like, middle of the night, I get up, go to the bathroom. Like she hasn't. I come back, she hasn't moved. Whenever I come back, I get back into cuddling position. Girl is naked now, like clothes gone. I didn't see her move. She's in the exact same position. I'm like,
she's telling you to hurry the fuck up.
It's basically
get on with it.
And I'm like, oh, I'm playing stupid. I'm like, oh, clearly she must have been hot. That's all. she's just hot. So I roll back over to my side, and out of nowhere, this girl like pounces on me. It's crazy, and then she like just starts moaning like crazy. And come to find out, like she does that for like 10 minutes. I'm staring at her, blank face with confusion on what's happening. Like just, I don't even know what's going on. She jumps off of me. She's like panting really loud. She's like, wow, that was great sex. And I was like,
oh no.
Did we? There was no penetration. There was nothing went in anywhere. And I was like, is that what you think sex is? And she was like, yeah, right. And then I felt so bad. I'm like, this girl may be a virgin. This girl may not know what sex is. And that's the end of my story.
So, sorry. I want to understand exactly what you did with her. She laid down and then you were on top of her? Or?
No, she jumped on top of me and started like
just rubbing,
dry humping.
Oh,
yeah, just rubbing.
Oh,
and nothing went in.
Oh,
and she was like, "Wow, that was great sex." And then the thing is, because I'm a man and I'm a disgusting human being, I couldn't have her claiming me as a body and not actually being a body. So I actually
she got off.
Yeah, maybe she was
got off. You didn't get off. That's on you, bro. Like,
yeah, maybe
doing your job.
Maybe it was clitoral stimulation, and that's what she was aiming for. Like, maybe
probably was aiming still and not orgasming.
Yeah, I should have ran, but I did it. I had to like, if you're gonna claim me as a body, like it's gonna be a real one. So then we actually did it, and it was like a complete.
No, she
was
just
like,
used
wow,
your
I've
dick
never
as her
done that
finger,
before.
bro. Like I don't know what you mean.
You.
Yeah.
So are you
It
guys still
didn't go
dating,
in.
or what's going on?
Yeah, that's what we
the
call an
wedding.
alpha move, bro.
So yeah.
So
what's
then,
going on?
That's
okay.
how I met my wife.
What was else to talk to her?
Tell me about. All right, then. Now we got to know the triplets story. Please enlighten us.
Okay, this one's way quicker. It like, even though this seemed like a situation I should have ran from, it kind of became like semi-casual thing. Like I was like, oh, okay, like she called me sometime. We came over, we hooked up. I don't know. It's college. It is what it is. And one day she called me to come over. It just seemed like any other day. So I get to our door, I'm knocking, no one comes, and then I just hear her come in like 2 minutes later because she's not answering her phone. So I walk in, and there's a girl on the couch in like just in a towel, and like her hair's wet. She just came out the shower. So these girls are identical triplets. So I like assume, okay, you're out here, you're in a towel. Clearly, you're my girl, you're my twin. So she's like, oh, what are you doing? And I was like, nothing. So I go and sit down, and then I just kind of like, I'm aggressive. Not like rapey, but like,
oh, good. That's always a good sign. Not like rapey. Yeah, that's. Go ahead.
Yeah, no. But I put the moves on, and I ended up like right there on the couch, like grabbing her. I'm like, come over here, and then she's giggling, and then like we end up hooking up, and then like she's like, wow, you're silly, and I was like, that's all she says, like, you're wild, you're silly, and then she like gets up and walks off, and then like I'm confused, and then like 2 minutes later, another girl walks out of
Nobody asked for this.
the room.
Do we want that? Do you want just to?
What?
Yeah. You're all coming. Okay,
This
go
is
ahead.
the last thing.
All right, I'm gonna hear
This is the end of it. Another girl walks out of the room that like the girl I'm usually hooking up with comes out with, and she's like, "Oh, you got here? I didn't know." And I was like, "What do you mean you didn't know?" And yeah, I never told her that I hooked up with her. So
does she know now?
I think that's.
No, she
I think identical. I think people who are identical, like
Nitterani, what do you think about that?
You don't have to answer that. You're muted though, so we can't hear you.
I don't know about all this like locker room talk. It's kind of off-putting. I honestly thought that this was going to be more of a general conversation about sex and relationships and communication.
I apologize. I ruined it.
No, don't worry about it. But
this has gone out of hand.
No, yeah,
this is way off the rails.
It's fine.
I didn't actually send any rails down.
We should circle back.
Whatever.
But
But
that sounds like a great conversation.
Nito Rini. Is it for the Pokemon? That's why when I read the name, I thought it was a Pokemon reference. But would you like? Is there anything in particular you want to talk about? Like how did you picture this conversation happen? We're always looking for new faces.
Sorry, can you repeat the last bit of that question?
I'm sorry. Could you say it again? I didn't hear you.
Oh, could you repeat the last bit of that question?
Yeah. We are curious. Just where did you imagine this conversation going?
Well, I heard people talking earlier about like sex and communication, and how communication is like actually a lot harder than people think. And I agree with that to some extent, because I do think like in my early 20s especially, I had a lot of really bad sex that came down to like lack of communication. But at the same time, it's like you just have to try. You just have to try your best, and like don't be self-conscious.
It's only one way of getting better.
That's why I was saying like it's
force
really
yourself
not,
to communicate.
Like,
That's what I've been saying the whole time. I agree.
It sounds really cool to say like communication is easy, but like it's definitely a developed
just what
skill.
it is.
It's like it's not always easy, and it's a developed skill.
It's easy when you find the right
what
person.
I'm saying is it gets easier as you force yourself.
I don't know what does bad sex mean? I want to know what bad sex means because I don't know if I've ever had bad sex.
Oh, it's whenever when you walk. No, I've had bad sex.
Tell me you're a woman without telling me you're a woman.
When you walk away,
when,
it's when you walk away and you literally had such bad sex that you call your fucking like friend and you tell them how bad it was. Like I'm talking like bad sex, dude. And I'm not talking fucking a girl. I've never fucked a girl. I'm talking a man fucking had a horrible fucking way of having sex.
It can go
Maybe you
both
should
ways.
try fucking girls then.
Dude, bad sex is when you walk. Bad sex is when you walk away and you're so mad that you had to go through that you're like talking on the phone after at 4 a.m. Like with your fucking friend and being like, yo, I literally just had a horrible fucking experience. Holy shit. Like,
how about bad sex is when you put in the effort and don't
never
give up?
happened. I've never had that happen
like
to me.
making fun of them, pointing out like every fucking thing they did wrong, like literally going off because I have done this.
That sounds awful, actually.
Yeah, it sounds terrible. Holy shit, dude.
Why would you
How did you go
talk
through
to
that?
somebody about that? That's kind of fucked.
Well, no, how does that ever happen?
Why
I
would
don't
you talk to
understand.
somebody else about that?
Because it was
Were you
just
not
so
open
bad
like
that you
during?
have to,
Open
like,
about my
let it
sexual
out. You have to, like,
experiences.
Were you
let
not
people know.
open during during the like? If it was that bad, did you not say anything? Like
yeah, like what?
while
Like
it
how
was
did that
going
happen?
on? Like
Yeah,
boundaries
why
can
would
be
you
hard
get
for
to
some
that
I don't want
people.
to tell the
Same way with this whole
story, but I'm just
communication
saying.
thing.
You don't have to. No,
I'm just saying what
I
happens
was
after.
asking.
Hold on, Fines, finish your point.
Oh, okay. I was just saying, like, the initial question was what happens after you've had bad sex. For me, when I had bad sex, I literally like was so fucking weirded out by it that I was like literally pointing it out to a friend. Why I did that, I don't know. I just felt like it.
I thought the
I just
original
don't think that's
question
the
was like,
most
what is
best
like
thing to
what
do.
is having bad sex? And
Yeah, that's what I wanted
just-
to know.
You
I was gonna
defined
say,
it
for
as
me-
that, and I feel like that's a bad definition too.
yeah, for me,
No, I
like I
wasn't
guess maybe
defining what
because
bad
I'm
sex
open.
is. I wasn't
Yeah.
defining what it is. I
mean,
I was telling you what happens after.
But that
But you
was
said
that was
bad
the
sex
question,
is
though.
when you do X afterwards.
I was gonna say the question was like,
yeah, I
what
guess
is
I
bad
did
sex?
define
Yeah,
it
what
that
is
way.
bad
And
sex?
like,
Yeah, you did.
I like personally, I feel like maybe I've never had bad sex because I'm
I don't
fucking
think so.
open about the shit that I like and what I want while I'm having sex. If somebody does
Communication
something
prevents
that I
it.
don't like, I'm like, yo, that doesn't feel that good. You think that it does, but I don't like it. You can do this
not
instead
into
because
that.
this is something that I
Dude,
love.
I wasn't trying to give like a definition of what bad sex
Yeah,
is.
no, I
like,
got
per
you.
se.
It was just bad wording. You're good.
I was just saying like this is what happened to me, and like I was kind of like exaggerating a little bit, but basically, it's when you have such bad sex that like you have to like tell people that it was bad. Like I'm talking like you have to like tell a friend that it was bad. You have to like get that shit out of your system because if not,
I mean, I might tell somebody if I felt like I was being violated, but not like.
Nidorani, did you?
No, I wasn't.
She was the one who
violated,
brought
no.
up bad sex, so like maybe she could divine it.
No one
Yeah,
was
sure.
violated.
Wait, yeah, please.
I'm going to be a total hypocrite right now because I said stop with the locker room talk. It's because I want to tell you a little story about the worst sex I had in my early 20s.
Okay.
Okay, so I was in university and met this guy in my women's studies class, and we like hit it off. We were great friends. And one day he like showed me this picture of his girlfriend, and he was like, "Would you have sex with my girlfriend?" And I was like, "Oh yeah, she's hot." And so he was like, "Yeah, great, let's set up a time." And I was like, "What?"
Are you making it still?
Oh no, sorry. We can hear you. This I guess she doesn't realize. The new person, lady by name. Can you hear us? All right, I'm just gonna serve mute. Go ahead. Keep going, reading. Keep going.
What's that?
Keep going, please.
Okay. Am I audible?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. So, yeah, he wanted me to come over and meet his girlfriend, and I did, and like we did not communicate well enough because like I thought that she just wanted to like explore her sexuality and have sex with me, and then he like didn't leave, and I was like, "Why are you still here?" And it turned out that I was accidentally in a threesome, and it was like the worst sex I've ever had.
Wait, so but, okay, my question is though, what made it bad sex? Is it because you had no expectation of it being a threesome? Is that what it was?
It's
It was just a lack of communication, like especially with threesomes and like having sex with a couple, like you need to have that communication. And like I had never had one before and was not prepared at all. And like I also wasn't into him. I wasn't into him at all. So
Yeah.
But you were into the girl, but not the guy.
Holy
yeah,
shit.
she was really hot.
Not being into it is like such a fucking problem. And then whenever you continue not being into it and they are into it, then you have some fucking issues. It's not necessarily rape, but it is bad sex. Like it's not rape, it's just bad sex. You know
But
what
like,
I'm saying?
why? Like, if you're not into it, why don't you say something?
Oh boy.
Well, hold on.
This is about to escalate very quickly. Chris, give it a try.
I was gonna say, like, I don't know, like this is like answer so hard to get to. Bad sex is when you don't enjoy yourself, right? That's just it. So like I've had plenty of experiences where like I've gotten bored right in the middle, so much so that the other person noticed, like to the point, like I get to the point where just like I can't wait for this to be over, but it's up to me, and like I can't finish because like I'm not enjoying this. So like I want to stop, but then you get questioned like did you even finish? Like I'll be like, no, I'm cool, like I'm good. You got yours, like let's keep going. Like and they're like, no, let's like keep going. Like it's it's just when you don't enjoy yourself, right? You don't have to be violated or anything like that. It doesn't even have to end really awkward. You just don't enjoy it. The other person might have enjoyed it or they might not. Like that's it. Like it's just like bad sex, and that can happen whether you communicate or not. Because some people like I've had instances where like it's just like the other person couldn't handle too much. They couldn't do too much, right? So it's just like for me that experience just like couldn't go too far with me. Like if like
or enough.
You can't, yeah. Like it's just like you can only go one time, right? Or want to go another. Like it's all sorts of things. It could be almost anything that can end up like being bad sex, which is why I found myself more of being like having relationships and wanting to have sex with people that I could like get to know for a good amount of time and like talk to. I know you long enough because like at a certain point, no matter like you know a person long enough, you communicate long enough, you guys can learn and do things and grow in that way. And it's just like ends up being better that way rather than I can't like one night stands are so bad. Like this is the most awkward experiences I've ever had. Right? Because like you don't talk too much. Like it's just like it just doesn't go anywhere. That's how I figured out I was a demisexual. Like, I was just like, this just does not work for me at all.
Dude, I fucking agree with that, man. Fucking one night stands are not that fucking
I feel like
good.
there's a difference between bad sex and sex you literally did not want to have in the first place. Because like you could want to have sex with someone and
let her finish.
No,
hold on. Hey, let her finish. Lady by name. Thank you for being here. Finish your point.
Yeah, you could want to have sex and it might just not turn out right. But if you didn't want to have sex in the first place and you felt like you were put in an awkward situation, that does feel a little bit like a violation, especially if it's someone that you initially might have been attracted to on the internet and then something completely different happened. Like they got a whole wife that you finna smash. Like,
word.
Like,
you're
okay. Where did she come from?
You're right about that. I've had situations where like the person wanted to have sex and I wasn't in the mood. I was too busy playing Hades. Like I've been in those situations like I'm not like they're just like going at it. Like women can do this too. Yeah, like you can say no. And, like you don't have to go into it, but like it took me a long time to realize that I could just say like no, and I would just end up doing it, and like it would just be like annoying, right? I didn't feel violated in that way. I guess because like
funny sometimes. Sometimes it's funny because of certain like what I call pimp and trick culture, which I very much believe is pervasive in my community. You will be put in a weird situation where it's like, what the hell is going on?
I think these situations always aren't like necessarily from like a violent place, especially when you're especially when you're in a relationship, like sometimes you're not super into it, but your partner's like really turned on, and you're like, although like I'm not super wanting to have sex, like I can have sex right now because it's like pleasing you, and like I don't know. Sometimes we only have these conversations from like a victimized like dichotomy when it's not always that. There are like situations where you just like, okay, like I could, like it's not like necessarily I'd rather be playing the game or doing something else, but I could because you're into it and like I'm having this
you know
moment.
how I know
it happens a lot in marriage.
You know how I know it's
honestly.
not like a sexist thing is because gay couples do this. Like it has nothing to do with like people being oppressed. It has everything to do with like individual fucking people not wanting to have sex. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah.
And that probably led to
I've
bad
been
sex.
in the kink community before, you know what I mean? And like there's just very different vibe with people who are like going to express what they want, communicate what they want, say what they actually want. I had one girlfriend, we shared a boyfriend at that time. There was an entire contract of things that person wanted, just line by line.
What the fuck?
And I mean, it's kind of really freeing to be with people who express like just upfront what they want, and it's like, I don't want that, da 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 da. You know what I mean?
Saves time.
And I feel like
Sounds like
from the
50
female
Shades.
perspective, straight up,
I've literally
there's a
said it
lot of
saves time.
people trying to bamboozle you. Dead serious, like a snake oilman. I had a Nigerian car salesman trying to hit me up, and it felt like something out of a cartoon. I was like, what is happening? He said, you are so beautiful. You're the most beautiful woman I've ever seen in my life. I thought to myself, okay.
I mean, okay, so I guess for me, it's like kind of weird to think about like bad sex because I think, as long as the person that I'm having sex with wants to have sex with me, which is the only times that I've ever had sex, then I'm into it. You know what I mean? Like I'm happy to have sex with somebody that is consensually wants to have sex with me. You know what I mean? Like, to me, that's like that turns me on. You know what I mean?
You're
like
always into it. What the fuck?
Yeah, pretty much.
No. I think what he means to say is that a person who's enthusiastic. I've talked about this a bunch. There's a difference in enthusiasm. Like you can have relationships with someone who you're not particularly into, right? You just kind of do it, right? It's not like assault or anything like that, right? Of course, like, you just kind of just do it. But then you can also have a relation with someone who you like are super into. You're happy to be there, and it shows in your actions. And for me, if they're not enthusiastic, right, then I don't want to be there. Right, my energy matches their energy, and so if I'm getting just a lot of blah, right, a lot of meh,
dude,
then
so this is a little weird, but like this is a little weird because this is a little weird because I'm in an open relationship. So like I've been in fucking situations where like you can literally to the nail like fucking compare how the sex was, and if I'm being completely honest, I have never like had sex with a hookup that was better than my partner. You know what I'm saying? Like I've never been in a fucking situation where I've like been so loving or whatever of like a hookup that like there's just something different. Like a partner, you always have good sex, but with a random fucking person that you never.
Well, not always, but
I don't know.
Likely.
That's true in my situation
more likely
because
somebody
I'm
might
really,
shock you.
Yeah.
But
usually
I've been in relationships where like the majority of the time it's great, but like every now and then, especially in long-term relationships where it's like, I think somebody said earlier, like sometimes it's like, yeah, I can do this because my partner really wants it right now, and I'm like I'm being a good partner by giving my partner what they want. I'm not necessarily against it. I just want to give this to my partner because they're really like into it right now. So like sometimes that happens in relationships too, and it's not like amazing, but it gets you by, and it's at minimum easily better than a hookup. So like honestly, I can say that at minimum it's like usually better than a hookup. I can agree to like a little bit less like definitive terms.
I don't want to push back on this argument, on this idea that like knowing someone longer always leads to better sex. Like, don't get me wrong. Like, I think it's fair as like a general.
Well, that's
rule
what
of
I
thumb.
said usually.
Yeah, no, but I just wanted to like talk about the idea. Like, I think the human brain like releases like dopamine at the idea of like getting to know someone new. Like, there is like some fun of like going through that. Oh yeah, what you
Yeah.
doing? Like, what do you like to do?
Not
What's
for
your favorite
me, but
color?
yeah.
But
I mean,
look,
yeah, not, but some people like
from the
that.
female side, I know the exact same feeling. I can feel the hormones in the beginning versus like what the middle and end. But guys put themselves on such a higher pedestal when they're able to draw out that initial hormone feeling because that stuff is better than porn.
What do you mean by that?
Like, have you ever like slept platonically in a bed with someone you haven't had sex with? Da 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 da.
Yep.
That shit is amazing. I don't know.
Facts.
My
What do you mean?
hormones
That
be up
shit is
here,
fucking
Okay.
and then later
She is
on,
Nah,
the sex with
facts.
that
Holy
guy
shit.
way different than the dude that you want to hook up with for no reason. Like,
No.
Yeah, it like builds up like
Yeah,
the
that's
the
fucking
the,
true.
the what
That's
ifs
fucking
of
true.
it.
yeah, the what if
Neither-
that shit big.
Nidorini?
Are you talking about like the sexual tension?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
tension.
Sounds
is
like
great,
I have
but, like,
friends that I can
you
cuddle
can
with if
sleep
I
next
want
to
to
a
be like
friend.
platonic.
Bro, friend cuddles
Yeah,
are the
wait,
best
how does
too,
that
let's
happen?
be
How
real.
does that happen? I don't know. Like,
Sleep
I
next to a
don't
friend.
cuddle with no
Ow.
Have
dude.
you ever
I don't
cuddled a
imagine
fucking
you.
friend?
Not
I
a
do
friend
not
that you
ever
I've
cuddle
had
with
enough
a friend,
friends that
Yeah.
I've cuddled with
Do you
for
have
sure.
friends that are
Hell
women?
yeah.
Some of my good friends, but like, yeah, for sure.
I've
Like,
cuddled women before.
You
What?
can
I
cuddle
have
with
friends that are
dudes
women. I
too.
wouldn't sleep in the same bed with them if I'm not interested in them. You know what I mean?
I have,
Are you
bro.
I have.
platonic?
Oh, I
Like,
totally
a
have. I don't think
a
anything of it.
friend
Like,
woman, not
Yeah.
not a hookup, a fucking
you
friend
okay?
sleeping in a
woman.
bed doesn't mean you're gonna
I'm very
fuck. I
okay,
mean,
man.
you know,
Like,
I mean,
Are you scared you
Yeah.
can't keep it together?
It's-
Like, what's wrong?
But if you're attracted to the person, then
Why
that's
does
what
it? Why
you're
is it
thinking about
gotta be
probably.
he can't keep it together? Like,
yeah.
I mean,
well,
like, why would
sometimes you
you
wanna
like
just
have such a
cuddle
hard
with
line?
okay, when do you like? Okay, are you talking about like do you absolutely
people don't
need to
feel
sleep in the
comfortable
same
doing
bed
that.
as this person? Like, is that
No,
what you
no,
mean?
it's like
No,
that's just an
it's
example. That's
enjoyable.
just an example of
Just
Okay.
like
Okay,
you're
so
sharing
okay,
an
Never
okay,
gonna sleep in the
one
same
at a
bed with
time.
somebody
Hey,
unless
hey,
I'm
hey,
interested in them. That's all. That's all I'm trying to say.
One at a time. One at a time. People
I
can't
have an
hear you.
example.
All right, example.
I
Okay.
didn't hear you.
So, the best example I can have is I have a best friend who I'm not gonna name. My best
How
friend
will we
is
know?
a woman.
Oh.
Yeah. Well, whatever. I'm just
Obviously.
like I'm not gonna name drop because whatever. Anyways, who is literally like honestly my best friend, but is completely platonic. She is ace, and I don't actually have a romantic attraction to her, so it's all good, right? And we hang out at least once a week, if not multiple times a week. And oftentimes it leads to the point where literally I'm laying right here, we're watching something on TV, and she passes out, and I'm just like, all right, I'm just gonna let her sleep. And she wakes up the next morning, she just goes home. All right, that shit's fine. That shit's normal.
I
Like
do have a best
I don't
friend.
understand how you can never assume that that's a possibility just because she is the opposite sex of me.
I don't think that
Well,
was his point.
I was
Yeah,
more
I don't think
referring
anybody-
Okay, then maybe I
I think we've
misinterpreted. My bad.
completely lost it.
Well,
Okay.
okay, well,
I
okay.
don't think that's what you're saying.
What were
Hold
you
on,
What were you
there's a lot
saying
of- there's a lot
before?
of stuff.
Yeah.
All right, so I mean that instance where you were saying that she fell asleep in your bed, I guess is what you're saying.
Yeah, like
and you were just like,
happened.
okay, yeah, fuck it, like I'll just
no,
sleep
it's
in my
happened
bed
multiple
too.
times. Yeah.
Well, I mean, I don't know. Personally, I would if that was the case, and I wasn't interested in kicking them out of my bed, and I was not interested in them, like you were saying, like I would probably sleep like somewhere different. Personally, just because
Why?
like that's
I don't see a reason.
I think that's just more comfortable. Like I don't
I
think
mean, if it's like
if that's
personal
your
space,
comfort,
that's
and also
fine.
then that's fine.
okay.
Yeah,
I'm
that's
also
your
like
comfort.
really big. Like I'm a very big person. So like if I were to sleep in the same bed as somebody, like it would be very difficult to like not be like near them. You know what
You
I mean?
sleep in a twin?
well, you can like you
I
cuddle
would
your
probably
friends.
need,
Like
at least a
I
queen
don't know how
size
else
to,
to
like,
put
not-
it and how to
for it
make it
not
not
I
to be
sound
cuddle
weird,
with
but
this friend, by the way. I
Yeah,
cuddle
like-
with the same friend.
Okay. Well.
Yeah.
Oh. Okay. Oh.
Yeah.
Okay. So I first of all, personally, I wouldn't cuddle with somebody that I'm not romantically interested in.
Well, that's you, bro.
I'm
Yeah,
very
Okay.
like-
So then that's why
I
I wouldn't sleep in the
absolutely
same
have
bed with
and would,
somebody.
and there's nothing wrong with it.
Nidorini?
Would you cuddle with your kid?
Yeah.
Okay, well then.
Okay. There you go.
I just think like we gotta
There's
normalize
no
youth
difference.
and like.
There's different
okay,
things
okay,
as
okay.
platonic
It's
embracing.
totally
Like,
different
and there's
conversation.
nothing wrong with that.
We got like 2 women here. I want to hear what they have to say. Nidorini, please.
I was about to
No,
say
no,
what else.
Nidor.
I was just saying that I thought that we should like destigmatize men cuddling platonically. Just like get up in there, cuddle your friends who are men. Like it doesn't have to be
sometimes that's better than
sexual thing.
I will
You can have your own
my
limits.
That sounded toxic.
hug these children and kiss
Bro, I'm gonna
these
be real.
children.
All of you
Sure,
dudes
I'm
who
sure
have like
beds with
one
my
night
homie.
stands,
Shit, we went
try
on
cuddling
tour, man. We
instead.
had no choice. Like you shared a bed with your homie, dude. And you didn't think shit about it, man. It wasn't like like
Did you
some
cuddle
fucking
on?
weird shit.
I feel
What's
like
that?
I feel like
Did
that's
you cuddle
toxic.
on?
You didn't have much of a choice because the beds were small and we were big motherfuckers, So like,
Yeah.
But I
That
never
I
thought
would.
anything about it, like
I
my
feel the
homie's
same
like, wait,
way.
I don't like.
I grew up
I
the
grew up
same
with
way.
brothers and
Bro, have
shit,
y'all
like
not ever like slept with
wrestling
a
and
home
like,
dog?
Like
shit
I grew
like
up
that. I
where
don't
like
care about
there
that.
was like me, my brothers, and my cousins. Like if we were like and like friends, like if we were all like having like sleepover, get together, whatever, we're all standing in the same place. We were probably all sleeping in the same room. There's like people all over the top of each other. Like it was just like a pile of like boys, or like sometimes girls too, right? And like we didn't think anything about it. We'd all be up playing video games all night, and like people fall asleep everywhere. And like as I grown up, like I just had a like group of friends, like where like if we were over each other's houses, like we're like passing out like all over top of each other. It wasn't something that like you feel weird about. And I do have a story. I think who was Black American. I have a story where I fumbled the bag hard on the threesome, and I didn't realize it at all. And it's because of this, like, of that mentality I was so used to of like sleeping in groups of people. Like I was the girlfriend I had at the time. I went to a friend of hers house, and like he lived out in the middle of the woods. He had all this stuff out there, a go kart and stuff like that. And, like, it was all great. We had a bonfire. I ended up in a room, like sleeping in a bed with like 3 other girls. Right. We were just like at the end of the night, like we I think that was his parents' bedroom. Like that was a place he had to sleep, like because the other places were taken. And like I'm thinking nothing of it. I'm there with my girlfriend. I know the other two people have boyfriends that just weren't there at the time, right? We go to sleep. I think we slept in the same bed like 2 nights in a row, all right? And I'm thinking like this. I never even crossed my mind because I'm there with my own girl, right? We on our way back home, she was like, yeah, they asked me like, why didn't like you didn't try to like have a threesome? Like, I'm like, wait, what? You would have like gone with that? You're like, yeah, I would have done it. Like you, why didn't you say anything? Why didn't nobody say anything? Like, I was so clueless. Like, I was like not thinking about it at all. Like, it's not like I've been slept in like in a place with like multiple girls before. I was just like, I'm not so forward like that. Like I just don't think about it like that. And like I don't like if they came up to me with that, I would have like, of course I can do that. But like I'm just not the
Or
type of person to
imagine
throw it on
Chris, imagine being the creepy guy who's like, while we're in the same bed, and like we've all said before, you should be able to sleep in the same bed and not expect to have sex with the person who's there with you, right? So you'd be the creepy guy saying, "Oh, hey, are we going to have a threesome?" Like, no, I'd be like, "Oh no,
kicked out of the room."
I would think, yeah, let's just sleep.
Sleeping in the same
I don't
bed
think
is
you
intimate.
fumbled the ball. I think you're just like playing it cautious and not like, hey,
I
hey,
was
you know
like,
what?
we had went skinny dipping and everything before.
Heck
It was like it didn't cross my mind at all. It's like it. No, it didn't, because like I thought like the other girl had a boyfriend. I'm like, I'm not that kind of guy. Like if she has a
Oh
boyfriend, I'm
yeah,
not
me
even
too.
gonna just like push the issue.
Same.
So like if she would have came up to me about that, I'm like hell yeah, I'll do it. But like it's just like when like growing up, I just like I've never like tried to push that issue. I knew creepy dudes like they complain about that would do things like that, and you like, all right, like I'm not gonna sit up the whole night pushing them to do it or like trying to talk them into it.
No.
That just seems weird. And we were already having a good time. I was having a good time.
Yeah.
Like I didn't like need any more out of the night. So
I feel like we need to reference what just happened. Well, not like that story. That story was crazy, but just before then, like Xerxes. My bad. I don't know your actual name. I'm just reading.
Yeah, that's fine.
But cool. But yeah, Xerxes. He made a moment, and he said on like, oh yeah, sleeping in the same bed, like it's something I don't feel comfortable doing. And
I
instead
think it's
of
intimate.
well, yeah,
intimate,
and instead of like accepting that, like we tried to like justify, like we like push back against what he felt
Yeah,
uncomfortable.
people, like,
We tried to
piled
tell
in
him
on
that he
it.
needed
No,
to
I
do,
told him
and
it was fine.
that felt really weird.
Like it's his comfort level. That's him.
Yeah, but
Sure,
a bunch
but
of people
that
like
wasn't the
piled in on
conversation.
him, like everybody like
Yeah,
just
no.
jumped in and shit. It was
If
like,
that's his comfort level,
That's fine. Yeah,
that's
no, I
him,
don't know if
man.
people
That's
push back on it.
cool.
That's fine.
Yeah.
yeah, no, it's
You know
just
what,
weird
I'm
that
not
like
saying you were weak. I'm
It's
not
not
blaming you.
a
I'm just
dig.
saying
It's
you're
more
weak.
just a
I'm just saying,
contrast
yeah.
of comfort
Contrast.
levels. Yeah, it's just a contrast of comfort levels. Some people don't feel comfortable that way. That's fine.
Especially
I
with a
would
female.
I would
Like,
never.
I understand. Like, I have a brother, right? So like my brother, like I wouldn't feel like too weird sharing like a queen size bed with him, in a hotel or some shit like that. Like that would be fine. But I think with like a female that is like a friend of mine or whatever, like I think sleeping in the same bed as her would be like an intimate thing that would be more than like we're just friends personally.
Yeah,
Like
if that's your feeling, man.
If two cuties were to invite
Are
me
you
over,
are you currently in a long-term relationship or married?
No.
That's not. So
Okay.
If,
I would
if two
I would say if you're like in a long-term relationship or maybe married, that sleeping in a bed with a person
Yeah,
of the
exactly.
sex you are attracted to
That would be like that's crossing a boundary.
might be cause for some optical questioning. So you're like your partner might be like, whoa, what the fuck,
Right.
But
Yeah, and I'm not saying I wouldn't do it, but I would do it knowing that like, okay, this is like gonna be like maybe more intimate than like, okay, we're just friends, like then we're just like hanging out as friends,
Also,
just sleeping in the same bed, like
so
Like,
you
if
could
you have the
be intimate.
communication with
Hey,
your partner and you're honest with them though, like, do you really think it would be that big of an issue? Like, if you're just like, hey,
I
we
would.
have
I don't know. I don't know what circumstances I
we
would
have
let
we have
my
one hotel
wife or
room.
long-term partner.
We have
sleep in
one
the same bed as
hotel
another
room,
guy. I don't
right?
know.
We have one hotel room. There's nowhere else for me to sleep. There's like I'm a big dude. I can't just sleep on the floor. I'm not gonna. I'm
I
not
like
gonna
sleeping on the
fit,
floor
right?
personally. I'm a big dude, but I like sleeping on the floor.
But say it's a small place, you're just not gonna fit. You're feasibly just there's not the
Okay.
room. It's
Sure.
just,
Okay.
because everybody's been in those shitty motels, especially on business trips.
Here's the
I
thing.
grew up with a little sister. She was always up in my freaking bed. Oh my gosh. I learned to naturally sleep at the edge of a bed to the point where like as I got older, my exes were just like, why are you always at the very edge of the bed? I'm like, I don't know. It won't stop.
For the longest time, I would also do that for completely different reasons. But I will also be at the very edge of a bed. It took me a long time before I could get comfortable in the middle. But I understand what you're saying there. But I want to go back to what Nita Reen's point was previously. We've kind of like danced around it, but like she was saying that we should destigmatize like male intimacy. You can see this like females having intimate relationships that are non-sexual, obviously, right? And it happens all the time, and you can have really fulfilling. It can take a relationship to a deeper level. But for men, like in the end, right? Like we know why. Don't want to be accused of being gay, right? And even I'm not sure a lot of people here are okay with it, and we have one.
I get accused of being gay all the time, and I don't give a shit. Honestly,
we have one individual who actually is gay. But the point is, that's what's happened. Like that's the case. I think a lot of us are on this panel. I'm guessing most of us are a bit more evolved on this, but still, it's difficult to like have male relationships that are deeper, right? That are having more even just, and it doesn't have to be necessarily meaning sleeping in the same bed, right? Intimacy means all kinds of things.
Intimacy with friends. That's something that's the deeper root of it.
I'm gonna be super cliche and say just join a band because those people become your fucking family. They know everything fucking about you. They know the schedule that you shit on. They fucking know your fucking life, dude. Like no
just
shit.
Live with people.
I think that one thing we should destigmatize is like basically like when you have like a group of guy friends, right? And if you ask the question like who is the most attractive here, and everybody goes like, oh no, I cannot answer that because that's gay. That's we're gay.
Wait.
That's you know that some people are probably more attractive in your guy group, right? And this is like one of these things that we go around like when it comes to us guys that
time out.
No.
Because look, you wouldn't ask a girl that. You wouldn't even amongst a group of girls. It would be bad to ask them who is the cutest among you. Because that would be putting everyone on the spot.
You're pitting people against each other.
No, you don't do that for anybody. That's crazy.
It's tacky.
I think it's more
gonna hurt people's
about
feelings
honesty.
for no reason.
But I'm
That's crazy.
about to say,
I don't think that's his
like
point.
the core of what he
that's
was
not his point.
That's not my point.
The core of the point was being able to like say like being able
compliment
to
each other,
compliment your
friends.
Okay. Because girls, I'm about to say I done did that
You are
before.
beautiful.
I was about to say I
Yeah,
had like if you have a girl like oh blah 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 like oh bring like you want to hook up like bring a friend blah 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 like you got any cute friends like I'm quick to say like yeah my friend's cute like oh yeah they're cute like some people can't say that I don't know if he's attractive I'm not gay
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, exactly.
Then I agree with that.
If your
yeah.
homie's got his shit on fleek, he looks good all the time. He's fucking suiting up.
Hell
He
yeah.
always looks right. He takes care of himself. You know. I mean, you could totally be like, yeah, he's fucking good right there. He looks good, man. He's a good looking dude. You know.
I mean, like,
Women
yeah.
are great at doing that, but men are
that.
awful.
That's just shit.
Well, like I haven't. I don't know. I haven't been in a group of friends that like if like one of us like say one of us has to like go do something and like got a new suit on or something like all of us are gonna fucking jump in on that dude like, goddamn dude, looking sharp as fuck. Like what like.
Yeah, I think it's kind of normalized. I don't think it's that stigmatized to say like your homies are looking good. Like I don't think it's that really.
I don't.
But
that is
But the thing that you're saying
really
is that
depends
like
on the
I really
context.
don't. I really don't.
Depends on the context.
Let's go to
Maybe a long time
let's go to Nitarina then Lady.
oh sorry, butting in. I was shit. What was I saying? Oh, but the way you're saying it, it sounds like you only give compliments like when someone's going out of their way to like look good. And like girls give out compliments like it's nothing. Like we just constantly are like, "Ooh, what did you do with your hair?" Like, I love that necklace. Like, just all the time, just being like, it's like
I
saying
have
hi.
girlfriends who
I think we're just different.
Well, I don't want to lie to the homies at the same time.
Right?
Boy, you know you need to take a shot.
If the homies are wearing something busted, I'm gonna tell them they're wearing something busted.
I'm not gonna gas them for no reason. No.
I'm not just.
They're wearing
that are
fake
so
Jordans.
fucking
Kinda gas them up.
tired of that. Like,
I will tear you down as quickly as I will lift you up.
I'm not even saying tear him down, but I'm just like, if you go out of your way and you're trying to look good, I'm gonna say it. But
no,
like,
one of
I'm
my
not gonna say like, oh man,
one of my boys comes out with some busted ass shoes. I'm gonna tell him that he needs to go get some new fucking shoes.
We going out like, hey,
right, exactly.
Lady,
we all gotta look good. We as a unit.
Fresh as fuck. What you mean?
Yeah, but here's the thing. I think the broader point is the frequency at which you are willing to compliment a dude friend of yours, and that is not very common. Women are way better about like giving each other compliments on a consistent basis, not being dishonest, but just making it a point to make sure that they feel good about themselves. And that's something that men are bad at.
No, man, I lift my people up
in general.
Yeah,
in general.
in
It's
general.
not
There are
100%.
fucking girls that
Do you
are
guys
so
not do
tired
that?
of like the constant
I do it.
fucking fakeness sometimes and constant fucking like trying to like say shit just to say shit or just fucking
I don't ever
compliment
say
just
shit
to
just to say
compliment.
shit. It's 100% real.
I don't know. I mean, I've seen some.
There are many.
But like,
If I got that
I mean,
do-rag
I'm just
look
saying
good,
from
it
my
look good.
fucking girlfriends who like are tired of that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm not saying it's a universal thing. I'm just saying like there is some of that like fakeness at times, you know. But at
I
other
think some
times
girls
it
feel
can
like they're
be.
forced. I met a girl who
Yes.
hated me because I was like pleasant and I had a good disposition, and she felt like that's the girl she had to pretend to be to make all the money she was making off these men. Oh my god.
I mean, I just think that guys do it in like a different way. Like if I'm hanging out with one of my friends, I may not notice something like immediately, but like just sitting there, like maybe 5-10 minutes in the conversation, I realize that like, oh shit, he's doing something with his hair that's different or something like that. It's not something that I notice immediately with my guy friends, like I might notice with like a girlfriend that I have. But if I do notice something, like I'm gonna call it out and be like, "Hey, dude, like."
It's also.
Do we also think that some of the blame can be placed on the guy? Some of the blame can be placed on the fact that men are like just generally less observant. Like on a general rule, I'm not saying this is true for everything.
That's often.
I
think every woman would agree to that.
No,
I don't
I think
notice
girls-
changes
I think
in
girls
women's
just take better
looks
care of
Are
themselves.
like,
a lot.
I'm not most
Men are less
attractive man in
observant.
the room.
Yeah.
no.
I'm just saying, on general, as a general rule, men are just a little bit less observant than women. I think that's just true.
I mean, I think that's fine to say, but I think
Yeah,
what
that's
it-
fine.
I think what it, I think
But what
it
I'm saying is
actually
take less blame off men for
This is
that.
not
Because
true.
What
No,
I'm
this
saying,
is
but I
not
think
true.
I think what
This
the
is dumb.
This isn't
feel
true
like
in the
The male
slightest.
skull.
That's not the
Is
issue.
it,
I
should we
don't
study
I
the
don't
male
think
skull
that's the
shape?
Definitely a weird thing
hold on.
that collides between men. If more men are complimenting men, then you already checked that.
then
They
maybe
already
they'll be
checked
more
the
observant.
temperature before you came in the room because you already came in saying, "Hey, you have a nice pair of shoes on. That hat is looking good."
Hold on, because we
Nice
like
pair of shoes.
this is
So-
this is
I
what I
was just
find.
pointing out.
Hold on, this is weird because like men aren't less observant. Like they have like most of them have priorities, right? Or what they'll pay
Okay,
attention
that's
to.
probably a better way to say it.
Growing up, right? If you
Yeah, I
didn't have
can.
the right thing on, like if you had the right thing on, no one would say anything to you. It's when you don't have the right thing on when you get roasted into oblivion, right? You like,
So you're saying the priorities are the priorities of which men observe are different. Okay.
yes.
Yeah, I
So
can agree
like,
to that.
if they have
I
some like
literally
if they're into sports or
view men
whatever,
reading each other's temperature in the most aggressive way.
they're
like
looking for
checking
things that
someone's
are wrong with
mood.
you. And men's relationships, like a lot of men's relationships, are different. If you have really close guy friends, things can get weird. And like it like not in a, like I don't like I have really close like guy friends growing up, right? We'd wrestle, like we'd like make like gay comments to each other, right? And like in a joking way, not that we were homophobic or anything. It's just like we'd like mess with each other like that, and we were comfortable doing it,
No,
right?
yeah.
Seeing like friends naked, like we've gotten drunk and like we'd be running down the street streaking and things like that. It's just like we like it like guys do a lot of crazy things and are really comfortable with each other. It's just that like in this mainstream thought, a lot of times when you have a group of guys who are like aren't comfortable like doing a lot of these things or talking to each other, complimenting each other, or saying something about each other's appearances, it's because they're really not that close of friends. And a lot of times they're all trying to pull up appearances for the sake of like how women see them, right? And it's like usually those groups of guys who are like out, like who are like really focused on like getting with women who like are like that, right? They're trying not to seem
Sometimes it's
feminine.
not even about the women.
Yeah,
Sometimes it's
they're
not even
just
about the
trying
women.
to.
It's just about you aren't even friends. Yeah.
Yeah,
Like
you're not close. You're not that close, right? If you like, you've seen a good group of guy
Hilarious.
friends who are really close. You see a lot of things, a lot of sus things, a lot of sus.
Doesn't it have to
jokes,
do a lot with
right?
confidence too, though?
Yes.
I don't
You
think
can
it,
have
but
really
I
close
think what-
guy friends,
I
but
think
be
what Logan's saying is
unconfident
wrong.
about your look.
I've been trying.
In my store,
It's
is this like
confidence.
Go ahead, Bam.
Yeah.
dude?
I agree. I think it's confident.
Bam. Go ahead.
Yeah, I appreciate it. I think that like it's not even just like it's not specifically that like I don't think it's that men aren't friends. I don't even think it's that men aren't observant. I think that like when it comes to physical appearance, like I think because of societal norms, women have made it like a normal thing to like focus on that area more than like men. Like right now, I need a haircut. I was about to say you should have seen the shoes I was wearing today. Like I didn't look worthy of necessarily like a compliment right now. Which and that's not to say like that's not like from a like negative perspective or like I'm like downing yourself or something. Like that was just really like it was nothing to down
I
me
don't
up.
even disagree with that.
I
I
don't
think
think
that's
that's
just
toxic
toxic
masculinity. I think
masculinity.
I'm not saying I didn't.
Yeah.
I didn't say I didn't look good as a person. But I'm not saying I didn't like I don't feel good as a person. I'm saying when you compliment someone on the way they're dressing, it's usually because they've taken the effort to dress nice. I didn't put any effort into the way I looked. Like so whenever I do get compliments, and when I don't, it's just another day. Like if I got on sweats and a hoodie, 80% of the time, then I'm just it's a sweats and a hoodie kind of day.
I'm not gonna pander to my friends.
Exactly.
There's also like playful shit talking where like none of it means anything, and actually like a good roast is like, oh shit, I kind of appreciate it.
Yeah. Like you, I probably shit talk my best friends
That's
more
real
than I will
love.
shit talk like anybody else, and they like all of them know if I'm shit
Do you think
talking you
that's
pretty
healthy?
hard, huh?
I don't
What,
think that's
like-
healthy, personally.
What, like
from my
roasting
Depends on
between
the
us?
dynamic.
No, it's fine.
depends on
Yeah,
the dynamic.
it's
It's
completely
not personal attacks at all.
Yeah, it's completely dependent on like what your relationship with is. Like if
Yeah.
I meet somebody and like we become friends and they're just not comfortable with that, I'm not gonna sit there and fucking roast them out of nowhere
Dude,
just for the
if
hell of it
half
all
the
the time.
fucking words, like if
No,
half
it's
the
almost a
conversations you're
practice
fucking
of
having
like
are like fucking insults, you're probably
No,
really not
no.
that close
I want to
No.
let
I don't
That's
think
not
you
true.
realize
Also,
like what we're
close.
talking
want to
about
let
here.
in.
Like,
I want to let in our newest person, Amanda. Hey, buddy.
Hi. Yeah, I just wanted to bring up the fact because you guys were talking about compliments when I was wanting to hop on, and this is something I thought about earlier today in regard to like how men have complimented my body and stuff, and now those compliments have kind of sat with me. And as I've gotten older and my body's changed, I have a lot of like I lack a lot of confidence just because of all of those compliments I got when I was younger. And so I don't know, it's just something that I wanted to bring up.
That's really interesting.
I think that's fucking
I feel
valid
like
as fuck.
I feel
Holy
like
shit.
it's really
You think
important
what?
to have a strong sense of self, and you have to recognize that when you walk into a room, people turn a certain way, or you recognize that when you are who you are, like verbally or whatever, people do start to perk up a certain way because you're not necessarily like other people. You got to have a strong sense of self, because I haven't met a person who I don't think I could have hooked up with a freak at one point in my life. You know what I mean?
Can I ask a question for like all the guys saying like just talking about the like
before that,
and
like,
stuff.
Amanda just literally brought up something, and I want to just immediately turn away from it. Yeah, so I think that's super interesting. What you're talking that people like, and it's not a perspective that I've had because I've never gone through that, but men are always talking about his body, is always letting them know exactly what we think of their bodies, right?
Bruh, like it matters.
Yeah.
Like I'm not just trying to sell you condoms.
Exactly, right? So this is a thing that happens that we do, right? We in general, I'm not playing anyone out, but we in general do.
I don't know. That's a fucking straight man thing. Yeah, it's
but,
weird. Yeah.
Yes, but the point is, so you grow up hearing this as a woman, and you kind of just like this is your world, this is your experience, right? This is how you move through life. People talk about your body, right? And you may not even be comfortable with it, but it's just like a thing that happens until it doesn't happen, and then it's like, well, like your world has changed in some way, right? You may have not loved it before, but it was a part of your world, and now it's not. And does that mean something about you? Like, yeah. I think that's actually really interesting. I've wondered about that, specifically about just women just aging and getting much older, and like what their thoughts are when, like at first, men may have been approaching them all the time. At some point, that stops.
Dude,
and what are your
it's
thoughts?
crazy because like gay men don't do the same thing. Like it's just not a thing. Like we'll literally never demonize each other in such a fucking toxic fucking way.
What do you
that it
mean
makes it
demonize? What are you talking about?
You're making shit up.
No,
now.
I'm not.
Like,
No,
that's
I'm not
what
saying
happens.
demonize. I'm saying I didn't mean demonize. That wasn't the best word. I'm saying like we don't like fucking
Objectify?
make it all about looks, man.
Tear
We
down.
we don't make it all about like our fucking bodies. We like I don't know, man.
Met some insecure
Straight
people.
men
I
just
don't know.
I don't know about that.
Compliments on somebody's personality is way more meaningful to me than a compliment on somebody's looks. That's what
that's
he's
what I'm trying to
Gay
say.
homie
Like, I feel like
That's what
just
he's
like a
trying to
straight-
say.
Why can't you do both? Why do you have to do one or the other? Do both. Throw the
Yeah,
love
I
out there.
do both though. Yeah, I agree. Do both.
Amanda?
I guess that's the thing is like compliments like, oh, your body looks good or you're pretty and things like that, fine. But like when there are more compliments like geared at specific parts of your body or things, because you can say someone's pretty,
Like
and
even dudes.
yeah, you can
Calling
compliment
at you
someone's
'cause they're
body without
young.
being
I
like
hate that shit.
yeah, like
Yeah, I wasn't talking like gay men never fucking compliment each other. I'm saying they never like make it a fucking issue, dude. Like holy shit.
I don't know.
I'm about
Speaking on behalf of all gay men here. Okay.
The question.
I'm about to say,
Well, he is the only gay guy in here, so
I didn't mean.
you kind of can't.
I didn't mean.
help it.
We can be part of gay
The
communities.
the
too,
gay
so.
community is a monolith.
No,
Yeah.
I meant a fucking gay man
I'm
is
not
never
saying-
gonna like be weird like a straight man. I'm not
I
saying.
was about to say,
What do you even mean by that? That literally makes no sense
Yo,
whatsoever.
I think
Heterophobia.
Hey, real quick.
Try harder, strag
Y'all are
boys.
taking the worst possible interpretation of what he's saying. I'm gonna be real right now.
You're literally.
I don't know.
But he's
This
also
literally
giving the
fucking
worst
stupid.
presentation of his argument.
No, I
So
agree.
then
He's
like,
miswording himself. He's miswording himself, but then it's like a you're not like trying to understand better because you hear the miswording. You're just assuming bad intent, and that's why I'm saying like calm it down a little bit.
Even the worst words. Possible interpretation of what he's saying, even an absolute best possible interpretation of what he's saying.
It's still not great.
No,
ask him to rephrase.
No, you're not. Let me finish my sentence.
Let him finish. Let Bam finish his Spanish. Go ahead.
Yeah, I was about to say, I have a gay homie specifically who said that like being fat and being gay makes life almost impossible for you. I didn't know what he was talking about, but he was saying that like the gay community is like really objectifying when it comes to like body types and body shaming. Like apparently,
have you heard of
like
bears?
In the LGBT community. Well, I'm about to say he's also black, so that's also probably plays a factor in it. But
I'm never
Isn't
denying
gay
that
culture a lot of
racism is insane in fucking gay culture. I'm not even gonna go there. I'm not saying that there isn't racism or fat phobia.
He was talking about fat phobia. Yeah.
I have a friend named Momo who's really, really tall and large and gay in the closet, kinda. You can't tell he's gay when you talk to him on purpose. He's very private, and he's really mad about being a virgin.
Sorry, that was a little random, but like let's go to Chris. Chris, okay, hold on, Chris on the subject, and then we'll move on.
It seemed like a weird misinterpretation of whatever the fuck I said. Yeah,
Chris.
I don't know. I don't like this idea of like this dude.
Hold on. Chris is talking. Chris.
There being this like dudes do it in general. Like I've been hit on by gay dudes in really derogatory ways. I don't think much of it because like I don't feel really victimized. So I think it's funny, but like this is like, and like especially like I have gay relatives. Like I've been around a lot of people in the gay culture, and like physical appearance is a big thing. A lot of like it's like not everyone, right? This again, gay people aren't a monolith, right? But I think they run into a lot of the same issues you run into in hetero like cultures, like especially club scenes, like in the hookup culture, right, is very shallow, very like appearance based. Just like kind of like directing all of that on straight dudes, I don't think is fair. Even though it is a lot of straight dudes who normalize that culture. Straight dudes are the ones who
if
normalize
I'm clarifying, if like you want me to clarify to not seem like a fucking idiot, what I'm trying to say is that like I feel like there's less of it in the gay community, but I can still acknowledge that there's probably still some problems. Like I would just argue that like in general, I would say that like a gay man interacting in a fucking in that way usually doesn't end up as bad, but I don't know. Like also it's completely different because like when we're talking about straight men and then straight women, and then we're like comparing that to a gay man and a gay man, you get into a lot of complicated cultural fucking differences. So there really is like a difference. But I am saying that like I would argue that there's less, but if y'all still disagree, then that's fine. Yeah.
I guess we don't really know.
Chris, finish your point.
When it comes to this cultural stuff, there's not really that.
Oh my god, Chris, he was talking previously, so let him finish, and then we can go on. Chris.
I wouldn't deny your experience in that way. So like if that's the experience that you mostly had, like I can understand that. More to Amanda's point, like I think a lot of like guys end up doing like complimenting like women the way they do because they think that's what they're supposed to do, and that's what works to get women to like them, right? They think women want to hear these types of compliments, so they end up giving them out like candy, right? Or like they just end up throwing these things out like as much as they possibly can, and like that, especially like when you're younger, you hear these things constantly. You go on the internet, right? Have a million dudes in your DMs, you ask for none of these people to be there, right? And like that's just like it just hits you like, and it feeds into like this mentality that you have, and then like you get older and you question whether or not that still people still feel the same about you, or whether is it just like I don't know, is it like something shallow, or are they just telling me this because like they want something out of me for that one like moment or something like that? I don't know how that feels. I get none of those compliments, right? I get a lot of compliments on my personality.
Chris, I'm willing to back off and be like, you know what? it's a fucking problem in every fucking community. Like objectification is a fucking problem. So I'm willing to like honestly concede that. Like even in the gay community, yeah, it definitely is a thing.
The
So,
gay
That's
female
great
community
because
too.
the
That's
gay
crazy.
and
It's everywhere.
bisexual community is actually really well known for its criticisms on look and its style and culture and stuff. And there's actually a ton of studies out that talk about gay men and bisexual men and how this culture is very, very, very harmful on their mental status. So you're completely wrong.
I agree completely. And
what
another
the
thing
fuck
I want
are
to
you
say.
talking about? Are you a
Would you
what?
like me to link you the studies?
We might be in really
Do
nice
it.
circles.
You're gonna
Okay.
actually do this right now? I was just giving an anecdotal fucking position. Get,
Okay,
get your
like
fucking
just
study
chill
in my
out.
fucking
Chill out a
Discord if
bit.
you want.
And Nito, go ahead.
With love.
Okay. Oh, you can call me Randy, by the way.
Oh.
Okay. I think what we're missing here too is we're talking about like men with men, but I gotta say, like, gay men, I have had many experiences with gay men where they are very like harsh about women's bodies, and I think that's what we're talking about here. We're talking about this dynamic where women are more objectified than men in our society, and that like people just think that it's okay to make comments about any woman's body, and I think that extends into the gay community,
I
even
agree
though
with that.
they are not
Yeah, I
interested
fucking agree.
in them sexually.
The
I
only
don't think
reason
anybody.
I wanted to
100%.
the
I
only
agree.
reason I want the only reason
I
I
was
wanted
just
to the
giving
only
my
reason I wanted to
anecdotal
clarify
position
that
is
on is
fucking
because
weird,
it's actually
dude.
a huge issue with mental health, and that's the only reason why I wanted to clarify that is because it's actually a huge problem within the gay community.
Well, I think I was just giving an anecdotal experience, and I'm willing to look at the evidence. Yeah.
Okay.
100%.
All right.
I think that there's like no one wants to be objectified, but and this isn't even about gay community. I was just saying, like, I don't think.
Bam.
Oh yeah, I don't think anybody wants to be objectified, but I do think that there is like generally people want to feel sexy. People want to feel like not distracted.
Yeah.
Because you have this phase probably in middle school or high school where you think like people want to be complimented on their personality, and you do that. Oh, you're so smart. Oh, you're so nice. But like it does feel good to say that you like for someone to say they find you physically attractive, to say they find you sexy, they find you like appealing in that way. And I know like if it can come overblown and become like a place where you feel like it's objectified, like you're an object to some people. But when you remove that, it can also like the absence of that, like never getting those like physical compliments can also feel like pretty like draining, pretty degrading.
Like, I think a lot of those compliments like separate platonic. I think a lot of like when you compliment somebody based on like their looks or appearance, and like you kind of like you say like you think you find them attractive in some way or another, whatever kind of compliment you find, man to a woman or woman to a man or whatever. I think that like separates like kind of like it like kind of lets you know that like I'm sexually interested in you. You know what I mean? It's not like I don't find you just like a friend. It's like a way to kind of let a person know that you find them more than just like platonic.
You can just
like,
say
I
that.
disagree.
You can just say I'm interested in you without
I
saying
think that's true,
like,
but
sorry.
Like if a girl tells me like, oh, like you're really hot, you're really handsome, like I know that like they're not just saying like, oh, like I think you're a cool guy. You know what I mean?
I think it's a probability thing, but I don't think you can say that for certain. I get complimented by my best friend all the time who's a woman, like on my looks, and it's fine because we have the communication to declare our intent to begin with.
Yeah, but I think that is also a little bit different because you said that it's your best friend,
right?
Whereas
Yes,
like, it's
but
not.
that's what the point is. You're clarifying that to begin with, and that gets back to literally the basis of this conversation being communication. Holy fuck. All of these problems you're all pointing out just get solved most of the time. Not all the time, but most of the time by communication.
Me and my girlfriends, we always hype each other up. And the thing that I find strange is like, it doesn't matter if they're gay, straight, queer. I can tell them that they're pretty and that I love this and I think they look great. And it doesn't matter. I just think that's an interesting point.
There's a thing that
just wanna
I
put
hear a
on the
lot, like a trend in the hip hop community that I think is really cool, like where you hear like people call each other like gods and kings and shit. And I think I think that's fucking awesome. And like I think calling women queens and shit, like because we should all appreciate our higher selves and we should be building each other up. I think that's fucking great, dude. Like I wish that permeated a little bit more out into society, really.
Okay, on the record,
lady,
please do not hit me up in the DMs talking about some. You are the most beautiful queen, you African goddess. Do not hit me up
not
in
like
the DMs
that. Not like that. Not like that.
You should know
horrible.
somebody. You should know somebody before you go doing that. Yeah.
Shoot or shoot.
But yeah.
No, I mean, I don't.
Sorry, but someone just was it Bam? He said it. Shoot or shoot.
I said it.
Okay.
Shoot or shoot.
But see, that's the issue then. Okay, right there, that's the problem. Not that Bam is the problem. No, not you're the problem. But I'm saying that but with that mentality, right? You gotta shoot your shot, because you can't get anywhere otherwise. Only the people who
ask me to walk at the park.
Okay, but still, that's.
I don't want to be.
Okay, sure.
Be the sexiest girl you ever met.
Exactly that. No, sending dick pics. I feel like we can establish is maybe not the best way to approach.
That's a bad shot.
Unconsenting dick pics should be illegal. Hot take.
Yeah,
I'm pretty
I don't
sure
even know if that's a hot take.
I'm pretty sure they already are. I don't think it's a hot take. I'm pretty sure it's illegal, bro.
Okay, harsher punishments for them then.
But the point is that
make an example.
The point is that you have to approach, right? But I mean, not all those approaches are going to be welcome. And
you
just gotta take your licks and walk away when they say no, man. And don't be a dick about it, you know.
But if it is too far, it can go too far.
It can go too far. Shooting your shot can go
that's
too
where it's a
far.
problem, right?
It depends on how you do it.
Dick pic, that is way too far. You know,
Yeah.
that is
way too
definitely,
far. Yeah.
That's
not shooting your
what I'm
shot.
saying
That's
with the
sexual
compliments.
harassment.
Yeah. But that's what I'm saying with the compliments. Like that's why if you compliment a girl, or a guy, in a more because you can compliment a friend based on their personality or something like that. But if you compliment them based on their looks or something like that, where you let them know that you find them attractive sexually, then that is definitely a shot. It's shooting your shot to a point where they can kind of either accept that or deny that. And that's an advancement, but it's not too far out of bounds where it's you're sending a dick pic. You know what I mean? It's I'm complimenting you in a way that is not just platonic. That's what that's what I was trying to say with that. Exactly.
No, there's other ways around it. You don't gotta shoot your shot like that.
I'm not.
Right. You don't gotta shoot your shot like that. You can be a class act about it. You
Yeah.
You can be something like, hey,
Don't be weird.
I noticed you noticing me noticing you.
I don't know. Every single one of my
to put you on notice.
What does that mean?
Wait.
No. That's a really good point. No, that's a good point. But that's I notice you. That's saying something that other than just it's good to see you. You know what I mean? It's more just I notice you. You know what I mean? It's definitely more than just oh hi. You know what I mean? It's more than that.
Yeah. People claim direct is always the best way. I don't. It should be obvious, but obvious and direct aren't always the same thing. There is some level of cat and mouse game. You do want it's having game, it's having swag. You can't just walk up to the girl hey, I like you a lot and I want you to be my girlfriend. No, be playful, be hey, you're I want you, I like you, can I take you out? You can be direct, or you can be it can be obvious while still being flirty and friendly. Sometimes people they want communication to mean something really bland and really enthusiastic. Consent is always I mean yes to this. I want to say and that's not what sexual dynamics and that's not what relationships always look like in the real world. Way we try to put them out on the internet.
I think you really have to feel it out with the circumstance. I think it's very important to do a lot of checks, just kind of where's the other person at? Read again, I said it before, but it's a big thing of reading the room, I mean, what's the body language saying? What are they saying when they respond to you? How are they responding to you? Are they being short with you? If they're being short with you, then probably your advances should stop. Maybe this shit's not working.
So,
and that's where it is.
I want to ask our ladies here how they felt about what Bam said, talking about how to approach, how do you prefer to be approached, in a more direct manner, or do you want to be a bit more circumspect? I don't know, you tell me.
Well, I just wanted to say not directly answering your question, but I think that something men also need to be conscious of is like the situation, their size, and like, are you alone or not? Because like, okay, I used to give advice about picking up girls because I had some good success with it, and then I realized that like my advice is not going to apply to everyone because women are not intimidated by me. I'm like 5 feet tall, like, and also obviously if I get rejected, I get rejected. But like that doesn't apply as much if you're a really tall person that's like hovering over a small woman. It can be like a little bit scarier or like. I'm saying that like you have to be conscious of like the whole context of the situation. Like don't try to pick up girls in an elevator when like you're the only two in there, like they're trapped in there with you.
That's totally fair. That's totally fair. I was just kidding.
Don't go cornering women.
I'm curious. I want all three of them to answer.
Yeah.
I feel like you're gonna get different answers.
Yeah.
So personally, I just like having friends, and if I'm interested, you'll definitely know. Otherwise, leave me the fuck alone.
Friendship
that's
first.
a little
The
bit
way I
true
like.
for me. Where she said friendships that turn into relationships are usually like really strong and long. But I was gonna say, like, when you're approaching someone through text message is usually where the most mistakes I feel like happen. We're not in high school no more. You don't need to send me a meme about which positions I like. You don't need to send a dick pic. You don't need to text me, I'm the most beautiful woman you ever met. Send me a long ass poem you just took off of Instagram. You don't do anything you did in high school. Instead, pretend like this is your first time talking to a grown ass woman, and try to pretend like you a grown ass man. I don't know. Pretend.
You are fucking great. You are amazing.
What Amanda just said, like I love it so much because like if I'm talking to a girl, I'm really interested in her. I would be talking to her for a long time. I want you to scoop me up, like right. That's the best way to do it. Like you let me know you're interested, scoop me up. I like that's just if like eliminate so many issues. But like yes, I've like every time I've like gotten into a relationship, I had to initiate. But it's so like still painstaking to know when like I could be completely comfortable with a girl and like I could talk to her all the time and we'd be cool and I still wouldn't know, right? Like I don't like like we seem friendly, we talk about anything. I like how to push that question. I don't know. The friend zone thing, I don't think that's a real thing. I've been in
I
relationships
live
with
there.
people.
I live there. It's real.
Yeah.
So like, I've had girls who tell me like sometimes like they were feeling me. I was feeling them, but I came off timid. I came off as if I didn't want to put it out there. They feel like they put me in a situation to score, and I chose not to. So then like it actually can be a turn off.
So they moved on.
Come off as too timid. Yeah.
I guess I don't get
friend zone. They just moved on.
I don't
ever. That's the friend zone.
Do you think women sometimes aren't like aggressive enough, or do you think it's always on the guy?
I mean, it depends on the person.
Because
like,
I think the social norm is that it's on the guy, but not
the
all
social norm is that it's on the guy, so more timid guys kind of get fucked over by that a little bit.
Amanda,
I get what's the issue with just saying I like you? Do you like me? Then you have a really easy
like can mean a lot of different things.
No, if someone
can mean a lot of
like them? Do you like them?
Like? Do you like?
Amanda.
Like if someone asks if they
Stop.
like
You
you.
can say it out loud. I like you.
Oh my god. Oh my god. God, there's
finish.
so much talking over women. Sorry.
Let her finish.
Yeah. Smash.
I was just gonna say, yeah, if someone says they like me and I don't like them back, I'm gonna be like, haha, that's cute. You'll definitely not hear I like you too.
Now, I'm about to say your response really wasn't direct to him, and that if that's what you say specifically, I don't know. I'm about to say I'm not judging. I'm just saying that comes off as like what does that mean? But also like
thank you.
Like saying
I guess I'll
I
start
like.
thank you.
I was about to say
Oh, I
saying I
lied,
like
though.
you. You like me too. Like I don't like that comes off like very middle schoolish. That doesn't seem like how
when I
Lady
just
was
say
saying.
I'm not interested.
Like grown men and grown women. Like I think there is a level of flirting. Like I don't think real life is that direct. I don't think that's
eased into it.
But I flirt with all my
women want to be
friends.
swept off their feet.
Yeah, so what's wrong with just telling somebody like I'm not
So it's on men to be direct
flirt a lot too. I'm not gonna
whether
lie.
they like
I flirt a lot.
you don't have to be direct in your answer.
What?
He's saying if it's up to men
have to directly ask you whether you like them or not, but you can just be like, ha ha ha, thank you. like an indirect answer.
Yeah, no, if someone says ha ha ha, thank you, that's not yes.
Read the room.
That's
Yeah.
No, I know it's not a yes, but what I'm saying is,
I don't want to say nothing
how is that not direct?
it would be easier.
It's not direct.
I'm saying,
not direct. It's not
bro,
an answer.
because there are men who just don't get
That's an
fucking
answer.
signals that well. All right, like I'm not saying I'm one of them. I would
am
pick
not
up that
interested in
signal.
hearing.
What I'm
You
saying
don't-
is I would pick up that signal, but there are miscommunications sometimes where dudes don't get that signal and they're like, oh, well, they appreciate
He's talking
me. I
about.
see
He's,
that.
Hear the
And then they
second
move
part?
on.
I said I like you. Do
It's
you
not
like me
on the
too?
guy for
then that's-
being a little bit like not understanding sometimes. Like you can't just be like, oh, the guy isn't getting it, so I'm just never gonna fucking say it directly.
So okay, so what he's trying to get to is well, part of what he's trying
Namely
to get to
autistic
is
men,
the
all right?
yeah,
Just
and
saying.
autism is a thing too. That's actually
To
very
be
important.
direct.
But yeah, I think what you're trying to get to is the responsibility of communication. And that if you say that it's healthy, right, for men to be more direct, like you gave me your example, Amanda, right? That's healthy that a man be direct. Then I think what Ben is trying to say, then shouldn't it also be healthy and good practice for a woman to be equally as direct? Like, okay,
I agree.
Okay, you agree.
Okay, that's all I was saying.
But on the
Cool.
reverse,
We agree.
but on the reverse of that is what I've heard from women. So I've talked about this a lot with women. This is exactly what you're bringing up. I've talked about this a lot, and they say that being that direct can be dangerous. You know, because look, there's a lot of fucking asshole guys who cannot fucking walk away.
Example. Oh my God.
I'm sure you, and I'm sure you do, and I love to hear it. That who cannot. Take rejection, and then they lose their shit, or they'll start like following you home or some crazy shit like that, you know. So like they actively are protecting themselves when they don't do that. So
fear, yeah.
What she said with the like ha ha ha, let's not, is a soft no. Like that's trying to let them down.
Well,
gently
no,
so
she
they
didn't
can-
say that. You kind of changed the response. It was a haha, thank you. That's not
a
a soft no
rejection.
to some
That's
people.
not this like hard no that might trigger something that they really
I
don't want to get
understand
into.
that, but also you can't then turn around and blame a guy who's just a little bit less understanding of those signals
Yes, you can.
for continuing to pursue.
Okay, so
think
autistic
about
men
it this way.
should
never have a relationship.
Are you talking
Solid,
about
cool.
autistic men or men in general?
I don't think
I'm talking about men who have difficulty.
Right.
I'm talking about men who have difficulty picking up social signals. An example of that would be an autistic man, and
I'm
that's not
talking
always
about-
the case. But what I'm saying is,
We're a fucking
by
ADHD
saying that
man.
society
Yeah,
should work this way is extremely not inclusive. Just saying. And I understand. I understand
lack of
sometimes that
education.
hold up. I understand sometimes that non-inclusion is for safety mechanisms, and that's fine. Women should put their safety above all else. That's completely based. But what I'm saying is, when that element is removed, you still sometimes have women not give direct answers, even when they don't aren't worried about their safety, just because they aren't forthcoming enough to be able to
disagree. I think they're giving a direct. They're giving a direct answer.
We gotta listen.
No,
you don't understand the answer.
We literally have 3 women. We had 3 women on the panel. Let's talk to them. So go ahead, Amanda. You said you wanted to clarify something, and then later you said you had examples, and then we'll go to Rainey. Sorry.
Yeah. So I totally agree with you. I think that it's always best to be as direct as you can be.
while staying safe.
Yeah, definitely. Sorry, I just totally lost track of my point. Go on. I'll think of it.
Okay, it'll come back to her. All right, go ahead, lady, please.
Okay, yeah. Sometimes I feel like when it's like, ha ha, it's like I don't want to say nothing that's gonna bruise this person's ego because I don't think this person is undateable. I'm just not currently, for whatever reasons, is in my past or present, not interested in seeing them. So sometimes it's like you wonder what you're gonna do if you say the wrong harsh thing to somebody. But also a good example is somebody I surely did not like. I flirted with this dude and everything. I was cool with him. He had his trench coat on every time he came in the store. Fast forward, man, a boxer named Willie threw him out of a club. This man turned around and shot at the club. I'm like, I knew he was crazy, but I didn't know he was that crazy.
Wow.
A trench coat?
Sorry, my point, I guess, what I was going
That's
to say
a
is
trench
that
coat is
an
a red
answer,
flag. I'm sorry.
an
Yeah,
answer.
I was gonna say.
It is.
I was gonna say.
I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
That
Amanda.
and all his chance and the fact
Yeah.
that he said he just got out of jail.
An answer sometimes like that is like not like safety, like physical. I mean, it could be possibly physical safety, but safety to like maintain a friendship and keep a somewhat of a relationship going. Again, like I said, I think it's always best to be as direct as you can be, but there's so many dynamics and factors at play. But yeah,
Wait a
I
second.
just
Don't
had.
you think it's selfish to
Just
not be
don't,
honest
just don't
with
put
that
the
guy?
guy on the
Dude,
bench.
hey,
That's
hold
all
on,
I'm
wait,
saying.
yeah,
Don't
pull
put
up,
the
pull
guy
up.
on the bench.
But why
Let
is
it.
that
Let.
not
Respond to
honest?
this.
Whoa.
No,
Hold up. Hold up.
no.
Hold
Can
up.
I
Hold up.
respond? Can I be? Can I respond?
Yes, I think you do. Yeah, you have a good point.
Okay, so my point is, don't you think, like, okay, so first of all, I want to like comment on two separate things. Lady said, "quote I don't want to bruise his ego like this dude is undateable because I might or someone else might want to date him later. I or someone else." Okay, then just say that. That exactly right there, exactly what you just said. Say that out loud. That gets the message across, and that's clear communication. That's exactly what you should say. Don't be like, this is my intent, so I'm gonna say something else. Okay? Like that's at least my opinion. And then the second thing,
Yeah, and
I'm sorry. I just think clear communication is on both people.
I do too, but that's not that's not the way.
Wait, hold on.
Of course. Hey, this is with the assumption that safety is not in play.
Are we wanting to talk in reality or in? Are we doing want to talk about reality?
I'm talking about how it should reasonably be. Yes.
Okay.
I'm not talking about how it's real. Like, come on, we're not talking about in reality at all. Yeah. I'm not talking about reality at all. I'm just saying, like, this is how I prefer it should be, and like, there's no reason why we can't do that and create a better reality by slowly
there are reasons because
moving
of
society that
reality.
way. Okay,
That's the
well,
reason.
regardless.
Because of reality,
so-
we have to do
Let
it.
him say his second point because I want to comment too.
Okay, well, hold up. I had the second
Yeah, he has
part,
the second
and
point.
then I'll shut up for a bit.
Reality means you can't change reality.
Okay, all right. So okay,
hold up.
okay. So finish
So
your
the second portion of that.
finish your
Yeah.
second point, and then I want to go to Rainy, and then I want to go to Chris. All right.
And then Smash said that honestly I forgot. Never mind. Go on.
Okay.
Or Smash, can you like
She said it was
like
selfish.
quick
Like,
Oh
yeah,
yeah.
so-
Okay, there we go. So
Hold on to the
for
friendship.
you, so if a guy's intention and you so without asking his intention, you give an off-putting not direct answer because you want to maintain that friendship. Don't you think that could potentially just be selfishness and wanting to keep a friend for
Yes.
yourself that you're
Yes.
leading a guy on?
No,
It
no, no.
is.
No, wait. How? Wait, because I don't want to hurt someone's
It's a selfish
feelings.
lie.
Yes.
terrible.
It's not a lie. How is
Absolutely.
saying thank you a lie? How is
This is-
thank
Well,
you
no.
a
It is.
lie?
No. What you
Because
said.
you're not
no.
being direct enough.
You said
Yeah,
something
like,
different. You
I
said
don't-
something else.
It can
said a
lead
couple
someone
things.
on. It can. It's
You
possible.
basically
It's completely possible.
I don't find that the vernacular she's using is inappropriate. I think that
I
it
don't think it's
caters,
inappropriate, but I
caters a
wish there
direct
was more
message.
nuance.
I think it caters a direct message. I think it does so subtly and in a way that is friendly. And you know what? There
can't
is a
you just be, "I wanna be
responsibility on the
friend"?
male to take the social cues, and you know what? They have
No.
to cater. They have to cater to
little
what
bit.
they understand is a preponderance of the population. If they know somebody might be autistic or something like that, then yes, maybe they take the extra mile to say something, right? But if they don't, then you know you gotta expect that's fine. Like I mean,
Most-
that's
Here's-
across the
Here's
room.
my take.
I completely-
Here's my
hold on,
take.
I-
If
hold
you
on.
added
know that
onto
somebody's
the end,
autistic.
if you added onto the end, thank you, but I want to be
So it's
friends.
only if you
Boom,
know
done,
that they're
easy,
autistic.
amazing, calm, chill, but you also made your intention clear.
Listen,
how
and the
hard
only
is that?
reason I
I
brought that up is
completely
because
How hard is
you
that?
brought that up.
completely
I
reject that.
personally
I
don't
really want to
want to.
respond. Hold on. The thing is that I find actually so funny is that like as I've gotten older, I've literally almost every male that I interact with, it's hey, we're friends unless you hear. Like I've had to like date that in messages and in text
I like
messages
that.
with friends because people read way too far into things. So like again,
Oh,
most
you
people that are
baby.
most people that are my friends know that if I don't explicitly say that I am interested, then I'm not interested. Like I literally I'm yeah.
If you
I say
make that clear from the beginning, then that's amazing. I'm all for that.
So
That sounds great.
let's go.
I just want to.
And I do that because I also need the same back because I am also autistic as well.
I wanna get Rainy and Chris and Faust, and then Bam.
Okay, thank you. Okay, so I just wanted to say, like I'm someone who's neurodivergent, so like I understand inclusion and like wanting to be inclusive, but at the same time, like I think that you can't expect people to always bend over backwards for you. There is some level of proficiency that you can gain from practice and from like behavioral management. Just like shit that you can learn how to do this stuff. And like the other thing is, I feel like if you're not good at reading those signals, that's the communication piece again. Like you need to be upfront about that and tell them like, I cannot read these signals. I need you to tell me like directly if you're into me or not. That's all I want to say.
I've been there and I've done that, and then the woman just continues saying,
yeah, I think that's actually a really good point.
Yeah, I agree with that. It's on both people, but like I refuse to take the responsibility away from the woman too. I'm sorry, I just refuse to.
Yeah,
like it's on both people.
I just don't want to do this thing where we like pretend that, well, not pretend, but like where we let people off the hook for bad behavior because of their disabilities. Because like there's like this thin line between like explanation and like excusing that behavior. Like explanation, fine. And like, great, let's like make any accommodations we can. At the same time, like you gotta, sorry.
You gotta draw the line
I don't
somewhere.
disagree with that.
I get
That's
that.
great.
All right, let's go to Chris, then Faust, and Bam.
I think asking someone out in general is a selfish thing, like to begin with, right? It's a selfish thing that you're doing. So when you go to ask someone out, I think it's on the person who's doing the asking to like get all the onus is on them to make sure they're safe enough to reject if they need to or if they want to, and that or if it's like a friend situation is they feel okay enough to give you a direct answer without feeling like that friendship end, right? You are like you're doing this person if they would like to be with you, and you might get a rejection. And I think if you set this person up to do like, hey, like I don't want you to like feel uncomfortable about this. So, like this is like something I'm feeling, and like if you don't feel the same way, let me know. It's okay. We can still be friends. I'm not gonna push you too hard on this. Like you gotta make this thing as safe as possible. If you do that and like it's still kind of sketchy, right? And like you don't know, like you might want to pull back, right? I think that like there's an issue with communication. I think people should start realizing that like you have to, you make it like the good as effort you can without pushing it or like pushing it and you feeling like you have to push it to certain levels, right? And then you start pulling back yourself, right? Because if you keep doing it, nothing's happening, you're gonna have to start realizing that like you got to pull back yourself. I've like been in this situation before where I was just like there was a girl like I pushed a lot, like I always flirted with and everything like that, and it seemed like she was interested, but she never said like yes. But we always stayed friends. She would always text me and things like that. And like this was like a high school thing, right? And like I look back on it now and I'm just like, I could like she never said no because like she was afraid like what I was gonna like if I just drop her from right then and there. If I just start talking to some other girl and just kind of ignore her from then on there, right? And like I like not saying like that's like always the best way to think about it. It's just that if I want this person to still be in my life and I can still be friends with them, I set them up to be comfortable. And I think we should think about that way. I'll like going on this rant about like the woman needs to be responsible about giving you a direct answer when you ask. Like if she doesn't feel comfortable enough,
you got to set it up better. Yeah,
if she doesn't feel comfortable enough to do that, you've done something wrong, right? Not legally wrong or anything like that. You just like didn't approach it that way.
Let's go to Faust and then Bam. Amanda, you want your
Can I just really quickly say that I appreciate that so much, Chris, and I think it's so important that like that was awesome. Thank you.
Faust?
I concur, actually. Like dope as shit,
like
dude.
it.
Based.
So I think this actually circles back around to when we all kind of jumped on Xerxes. And this has to do with this kind of like feeling of like all or nothing with these people around you that you may or may not want to have a relationship with. It's like you guys can be friends all the way up to a point where you say, hey, I like you. And then it is all or nothing from that point on. Like that's not healthy. like if things didn't feel like this, then women or men or whoever wouldn't feel this like pressure to not be able to say no super directly, because a friendship wouldn't end, because it's not all or nothing. It's just, no, I'm not into you. We're going to keep going the way we've been going. Like this all or nothing thing is frankly childish and toxic as fuck.
All right. What if that friendship was not even like, what if it wasn't necessarily like what it seemed, because one person had
you were just into them?
Because you were into them, right?
Yeah.
So what if a friendship is not
Expectations.
possible if that isn't a future, if that is not a future possibility? You know what I mean?
That's
Different
your
expectations.
problem because you didn't fucking
Yeah, I
talk
know,
about
I know, but it is all or nothing, right?
No,
That's
no,
kind of
Yeah.
manipulated.
Yes, it is,
At the
right?
very-
So
at the
for-
very
for-
beginning,
for one
communication
person, it is all or
manipulator.
nothing.
That's
At the
being
very
a
beginning,
manipulator.
No.
Yes.
I had my guy best friend and I actually had to stop talking because of that. A couple years ago, we were best friends since I was in 7th grade. I thought we were strictly best friends, and
Yep.
about 5 years after high school, he pretty much told me he was in love with me, and I either had to date him or we couldn't be friends anymore. So we are no longer friends.
Fucked up.
It's
No, that's
it's sad.
that's manipulator
hold
shit,
on, no,
man.
hold on. Actually, I don't think it is though. Like, he told me like, I am in love with you. I've been in love with you since we were, little kids. He's like, it's not going away. This is how it is. And I think maybe he had, I don't know, because I think there was still true friendship there, but I wasn't mad. I was sad and it hurt and it really sucked, but I wasn't mad at him because I could understand. I mean, how hard would that have to be, right?
So like
He came to my wedding and
So would you want the guy to fake it at that point? No, of course not, right?
No.
So then it is all or nothing. That's what it is.
No, if you get into a friendship,
you're not my fucking friend.
yeah, if you get into a friendship
come
with
to
a
your
woman
wedding
strictly
after or
just
before?
to get with them,
Yeah, if that's like you're
come to
way
your- That's not a
in,
friendship.
that's fucked up.
Yeah.
I think okay. I was gonna say I
Did he
want to
come to
comment on
your
everything
wedding
was said.
after or before he said that?
that was after.
Okay,
I got
my bad.
divorced
thought,
and then he told me. I got divorced. And then
I
he told
thought
me.
you meant like he went to your wedding and then told you. Okay, yeah. Gotcha.
Oh, I actually had another person do that.
Oh shit.
Oh boy.
Sick.
Like,
Oh,
yeah,
no.
no.
Especially
yeah.
since this relationship started in high school too, I can see how like, man, let's all be real. We are way worse at this communication shit when we were in high school
Yeah.
than we are now. And at some
Yep.
point, you kind of get like beyond the point of no return when it comes to love, and it's like, well, fuck,
What?
I gained my communicate. Well, hold up, I gained the communication skills enough to be direct with you, but I gained those communication skills too late.
So
And now it's all or nothing because of like the love came first and the communication skills came second.
so
And I don't really necessarily blame the guy. It's unfortunate. It sucks. But like it happens.
So I wanna first of all, just before I do want to get to Bam because he's online. But before I do that, I gotta know. I had to know about the guy who confessed to you at your wedding. That's gonna be fucking amazing.
Not my wedding, his wedding.
Oh, okay. 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 Hold on. All right. We are on a hype train. We're at level 1 hype train. 67% done. 33% left. 2.5 minutes on the clock. Can we get to a level 2 hype train? Help us out. Thank you for the kind donations before though. Much appreciated. But like, no, tell us that story, please.
Okay. So I was actually still married at this time, and he was a pretty good guy friend. We'd worked together for a while, and at one point, I actually really, really liked him when we like first met, and he had this girlfriend who he eventually ended up marrying. And I don't know, just on his wedding day, he told me his exact words were, "It should have been you."
Oof.
Yeah.
You should have went and told his bride. Not gonna lie.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, actually, she ended up messaging me a few days later, so I did, and we have not spoken since.
Are they still married?
I was about to say, I just from having friends that have gotten married. I don't know y'all's dynamic, but like that could have been about you. Like I mean, like it depends
I
on
don't
that.
think it
Or
was.
could
I
have
think
been
it was
about,
like
let's say, yeah, that cold feet
he's
trying
scared.
to ruin
Yep.
a relationship. You just want to blow up whatever this is because you're scared right now.
Pause for a hot second. But yeah, thank you for the 100 bits, Kitty, Somya. Sub to the channel, gift bits, or give subs to How About the Hype Train. 90 seconds left on the clock. See if we can get to a level 3 hype train. 30% left. But okay, Bam, you wanted to.
Oh yeah. I want to push back actually on everything that not your story, but like everything that's been said like earlier. I feel like there's in these spaces, like we sometimes I think over infantilize women and the need to like protect them, and I think that there's a level of I think there's a level of responsibility that we put on like what we expect from men that we don't hold like we say we want to like we say we're like feminists and we're for like equality of the sexes, but we don't put that same responsibility on women. Like whenever we were talking about hold on, whenever we were talking about like how a guy should like pick up a girl, we were talking about very blatant direct situations. Tell her you like her, he likes you, like that. Like if you don't say those specific words, if you're not that direct, then how could she possibly pick up on, you know, you have these feelings? But whenever it came to the opposite situation, and not even dealing with the issue of women being like wanting to feel safe, like that, obviously what Chris said is absolutely true in that regard. I think that there's like a big issue with I think there's a big issue with saying like, oh yeah, well, you know, like a woman shouldn't have to be direct. Or even Faust said that like the only way you can say a soft no is not being direct. You can have a direct soft no. You can say like, oh wow, that really means a lot to me that you feel this way, but I just want to be friends, but I don't
There
personally
you
feel
go.
that like way about you, and you're still a really great guy. That's still super soft. That's a soft no, but it's a very direct no. And I feel like there's nothing wrong with holding women to that same level of accountability to be direct, even when it comes to their safety, even when it comes to like there are soft no's that are very direct and valid. Saying haha thanks or haha OMG that's cute, like that like that's not direct, and like we can hold adults to higher standards than that.
If you
I've
can't pick
literally
up
had
on
women
like
get mad
the
at me.
Let
original
me
soft no,
qualify
you're
that.
gonna
Let me
Some
struggle
people
in the
can't pick up
relationship.
on it. Stop treating
not
it like
gonna
a
assume
moral
everyone's
failure that
autistic.
some people
But I'm
can.
saying,
No, no.
but would you say that? Would you say that to a man? Would you say that to a man who said like, "Oh yeah, I think, haha, girl, I think your hat's cute"? Would you say that was a direct way of him picking up on her, or would you say no,
No,
we need to be more direct?
more direct.
I've
Exactly.
Yeah,
literally
So
Yeah,
had
there's
hold
no
that
way.
same
I've
have the
standard.
same
literally had
So
women get
responsibility.
mad at
hold that
me
same
for
standard.
answering in that
has
way.
a statement here. Let's listen to her, please.
Yeah. Oh, you mean lady? Yeah, you said you wanted to say something.
Okay, okay.
And before you
I was
do,
gonna
just
say,
before you do, we are 2.5 minutes left on this hype train, level 2 hype train, because of the kindness of Nova Sun. Thank you for the 8 subs. And Kate for gifting another 200 bits. 5% left. 95% done. Can we get to level 3 hype train sub, give bits, give subs? All that helps us out. All this allows us to continue on and do all of this, bring these great conversations to you. So help us out. 2 minutes left on the clock. All right, go ahead.
okay, I was gonna say, to start off, I'm only responsible for myself. Me personally, I have a mood disorder. So every interaction I have with every person is gonna be either minimal, or I like you so I can conversate with you, or I am really good. I'm hyper vigilant, so I'm really good at reading people's temperature. And there's going to be a lot of people who are going to get a ha 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 instead of a no, and that's going to be okay. And you can hold people to whatever standards you want, but when it comes to women, protecting women, I know that my sister's got my back. She's done pulled a knife on a dude for me, got him out the house. You know I got my sister's back. I done picked up a dude, hurt my arm, whoops. But like at the end of the day, like some of the people I'm dealing with are actually crazy, and I can see it. So I'm going to talk to people however I want to talk to them at any moment in time.
I think when it comes to safety, we're all in agreement that like whatever you can do to get out of that situation, like yeah, I don't think
I don't
anyone
think we are in agreement though. And again, less than a minute left.
Are we?
No, hold on. Less than a minute left on the clock. 5% left. See if we can get to level 3 hype train. Sub, give bits, give subs. That helps out all the time. Thank you, Pablo the Flame. Put us at 97%. 3% left. Less than a minute left. Can we make it? Can we make it? Anyway.
Once again, there.
Go sub, please.
Yeah. So I don't think we are completely in agreement, because like people are saying, and like I have mixed feelings about this, right? So I'm not saying exactly how I feel, but some people are saying that yeah, like women should be more direct. But the problem is, one, there are a lot of guys who just what one, they don't understand it, or two, they will actively get aggressive when you do that. Like, your safety is in your hands in a way that us guys may not completely understand, right? It's just kind of outside of our experiences.
They have the out to be indirect as they want in 100% of scenarios just because of the like potential? Well, no, but like this is where
Can I ask a more important question?
I added to all of my statements tonight in that I want women to be more direct, with the asterisk of if their safety is not in danger. I think that's been completely fair, is it not?
Yeah, what if I'm just tired?
A lot of women, like, depending on your experiences for women, like, they never know, right? If they've had a lot of bad experiences, they never know when a guy, because like there's some guys, right? You say the wrong thing, that you like that, like this one trigger word, and they'll go completely change different shades, right? And like it's just out of nowhere. And I think
you could say that about anyone, though.
Yeah, I know, but like, I think
for
when it comes to this situation, right? I think what the most thing I can do is just set up the serve for the woman as best as they possibly can, right? And like as much as they possibly can, and like I just give the advice that if you set it up as like this perfect ball for this woman to hit, right? And like she gives this completely indirect answer, right? This like complete
but why is the onus on the man?
Let Chris finish.
I got that
Chris,
question.
oh my god.
I thought he was done.
No. Okay, so Chris is gonna finish. Nova-san, if you could use headphones, because every time you unmute, we can hear ourselves. So use headphones, please. Go ahead.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
If you serve the ball and the woman gives a completely indirect non-answer, right? You, as a guy to protect yourself, I give this advice: just assume you're being led on. This person is toxic.
Look at that beard.
Like, you're being led on.
Oh my god, Chris is still talking. Let him finish, please.
The person is trying to lead you on, or assume that like they feel like their safety is in danger, right? You assume these things not like just to protect them, just to protect yourself, right? If like you have to think about yourself also in a situation, right? If you do the best you possibly can, and like the answer you get like just like made no sense, it just doesn't like connect with you, or it feels like you just like this person was just like, well, tune in next time, like on Dragon Ball Z, right? You just like you gotta like like you gotta assume like this is a little shady. I'll pull back, and I just give that advice because like I've been led on, or like a girl would go right up to the point where like they're just right up there saying yes, but this person was just like trying to get things out of you, want those free dates, right? Or just like because you're a nice person, you're nice to talk to, right? They like that attention. Like there's toxic people out there like that. I say protect yourself. Right, it's not that like you infantilizing women, right? You're just trying to protect yourself. You're trying to set the conversation up, like as best as you possibly can. You're trying to get into this conversation as safely as you possibly can to protect your well-being, right? And like just like having these thoughts are like, well, we got to hold women to account too when it comes to these situations. We gotta put this put as much on them as like they're putting on us. Like no. Like this is a selfish act. Be selfish about it because it is what it is, right?
Why
Protect
can't you say both?
Because you never know, right? And if a woman is like,
should be good on this combo now.
say my mom has like PTSD, right? Like she's been attacked, like not even just on one occasion. So like her idea of what like safety is, like or what she can say to a guy is just like she just doesn't know, right? When you've been in these situations, you just have no clue. So like it's on the guy to just like, if you want to protect yourself from being accused of something, or like making this woman feel in danger, you want to you just want to, for yourself, for your own safety, for your own well-being, so you don't get the cops calling you, you get thrown, I'm going to approach this as safely as possible myself, right? If I don't get that direct answer I'm looking for, if it's just nonchalant, I'm just going to pull back, right? I'm not trying to get in any trouble because it feels like this is going to lead me to trouble.
Yeah.
One last question.
I agree that that's what
on this point. One last question.
Hold on. I just want to say it just because I brought this up. I agree with what you're saying that's what the man should do. That's what the man should do in that situation. But I think it also needs to be okay to say that woman is toxic. You could be wrong. But I think that's an assumption to say. We're like
okay, and it should be okay to say the woman shouldn't be toxic too.
Well, can't you just ask?
Can I serve a lob here?
First, I want to get. Are you done, Chris?
Yeah, I'm done.
All right, then I'll get a man.
I had a question to Chris.
Hold on.
Okay.
Lots of people don't talk. So I'm gonna get Amanda in. Then I'm gonna get Nova. Anyone else who hasn't had talked? White Rice Lady. Okay.
I think there's a misconception here too on like what safety exactly is for a woman. In my experience, if I've especially like when I was younger in high school and college, if I turned a guy down and it was too harsh, I all of a sudden had rumors about me that I sucked his dick or I was a slut. There'd be times where I'd go into spaces and he would make these people would make it very uncomfortable. If I say no completely directly to the wrong person who happens to be in a lot of internet spaces or streams, they could potentially not let me on their streams. I know that's like really minimal and stupid, but like I think we need to have a much wider understanding on what safety is. And I also just think that I agree that like in the most perfect world we can all be upfront, but like Chris was saying, we live in reality. Like this place is really unsafe. And how many times on this panel have you guys, as men, felt like when you walked into a room, it wasn't going to be safe because of the opposite sex? How many times have you walked down the street and felt unsafe? How many like I can't even walk outside
The
at
only
night.
way
Hold
I
on,
can
don't interrupt
agree
her.
with
Oh my
that
God, don't interrupt her. Don't interrupt her. Why would you think now's a good time to interrupt her? Please, like, listen to her. Well, go ahead.
My bad. I was just
Like-
gonna
Oh
say
no,
that I agree.
don't continue saying it. Holy
Don't
shit.
yeah, stop
Amazing.
saying it.
Wow. Smash, please continue.
Yeah, I was just gonna say, like, I can't walk outside when it gets dark. I can't, every interaction I have with men, and I'm constantly thinking how this can go wrong and how like this could affect me if it's not done correctly. And I don't know if that's because I'm a woman. I don't know if it's because I'm autistic. I don't know why, but I'm constantly like navigating these scenarios in my head all the fucking time.
Yeah. I've heard this from women quite a bit actually. Exactly what you're talking about. Thank you for that. Let's go to White Rice, then Lady.
Oh no.
Oh, sorry,
please,
Nova son. Sorry,
please.
Nova. Oh, that's my fault. My fault. Nova, please.
Thank you. So, like, basically, the scenario that I see is that we're playing tennis. We are the guys. We are serving. We put this ball into play, saying, "I need you to return this." That's essentially what we're doing. We're just basically putting that ball in play. We put that across the court, and then what happens is that women in general. Sorry, there's feedback.
No, we can hear you. No, that's
No.
fine. Keep going, please.
Okay, so then what happens is when the ball has been placed on the women's court, they have the ability to say no. And a lot of the times we're looking for no. We want that no, we want to see it, we want to hear it, we just want to understand that the smash that we put across the court is basically not obligated to go across the court. Problem is that every time that we hear the ball get returned, it's either getting returned to our court or it's not getting returned accurately. And I think that's where we might all lie in that scenario. So like we're basically smashing, we're just saying we need to hear you say, we want you to say yes. However, we're not hearing a no, we're not hearing maybe. We're in a weird zone, and maybe that's good for our combo.
If the ball doesn't come back, take it as a no. Easy.
Well,
Not
I'll
necessarily.
level
It is
and
not
make
that
another
easy.
I
point to
don't
that and
understand
say
sports
that
It is
analogy.
not that easy.
I do not understand sports analogy, so it went way over my head. Okay, let's go to
Basketball terms, please.
Let's go,
Basketball terms.
Lady. No, I understand what you're saying. I'm sorry. But thank you, Nova-san. Were you done? Just want to make sure, Nova-san. Were you finished?
Yeah, thanks. Thanks, Prime. That was essentially it. Just basically we're smashing the ball across the court. We're saying we need this to be returned, and then the answer that's coming back is weird or it's not getting across the court.
Lady and White Rice.
Okay, so what I'm getting from this is I understand the frustration men are feeling a certain level of discrimination in the dating scene. And it feels like a pressure that is solely put on them and not as much put on women. I get it. Non-clarity really does suck, but you do have to know that every adult you pass by is fully and truly responsible for themselves. In this current dating scene, people are going to be particularly defensive because of all this weird pimp and trick culture just running around. And honestly, men, when you're going to approach women anyway and they're ha 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 he he laughing you off, they're probably not serious about you. And I, for one, meet lots of women and even men who are out here playing men for a living, getting good money off of them on purpose, sometimes putting on a complete different face on purpose. So if you're getting surface level interaction from someone, you probably shouldn't be interested in them in the first place.
Oh yeah, it's a big issue right now of like, especially if you got money, you might like most of your interactions are be like women trying to take advantage of you, men trying to take advantage, for like for that payday.
In a predatory
And
way.
yeah, definitely in a predatory way. That's why it's like it's like this is hard for everyone to navigate, and not just men. It's like that's why I hate this conversation because it's always just like all the pressure's on men, like to do this, blah blah blah. Oh, the pressure is just as much, if not more, on women too, right? Everybody's having trouble with this issue, right? And it's because of these social things that have been like persisted throughout the ages. Like it's just coming to a head. We are now actually starting to like think about these things and talk about these things on a wider level, right? So everybody's like we're getting through this like just this change, right? We're thinking about these things and everybody's just trying to navigate that. It's like there's going to be huge growing pains over time as that goes on. Like as these things, none of these things are out in the open. Now we have time to think about them. Now everybody has time to contemplate about these things, and I think it'll curve off. I think things will get better as time goes on, and we learn how to do this better and better and better. I think things have gotten better than like compared to what they used to be in like early 2000s and 90s, right? There's consequences now for doing these things, being a predator and doing these things like gaslighting, things, all these like we have terms for things we didn't know about before. Where like people would do these things, they didn't have terms, they didn't have words or meanings for some of the things that were happening to people. Now that we have those things, we have an opportunity to learn, and it's just like growing pains right now trying to get through that, and we're just in the worst part of it because this is now just starting.
Okay, so here's where
white rice.
Yeah, white rice.
So here's where I will disagree with you, Chris, on like women have as much of an onus as men do. I feel like in the dating scene, I don't think that that's true.
Oh no, I don't mean like an onus,
okay,
like a pressure,
Pressure.
so say like not even pressure, like worries, like uncertainties and like
okay,
things that they have to think about, like
sure.
having to navigate in their head, right? They like everyone has just on our side, like on the guy's side, we have this thing where we have to like we feel like we have to be the ones who like have to navigate this thing the safest, engage with like trying to date on our end the safest way possible without getting in trouble or something like that. But like on the women's side of things, they have to think about engaging this way in a safe way, like engaging in dating safely to not like die, right?
Okay.
So like it's just like on both our ends. One might be like more like just more anxiety, like it drives like a lot of women
you make
crazy.
sense, man.
Yeah, so
no, like it makes sense, and like I think people like sitting here and like saying like these people have more of the blame or these people should have more of the blame. Like I feel like this muddies up the whole thing. Like personal fucking responsibility. Like everybody saw how easy that was. I didn't quite understand what Chris said. I asked a clarifying question. He fucking answered it for me. If you ask like a girl out on a date and she's like, she gives you a response that you don't think is super like straightforward. If you want like just a straight up no, just let her know like, hey, look, I understand that like maybe things are a little weird right now. Could you just ask me no? If she doesn't want to ask, if she still doesn't want to give you a straight no, and she's just kind of beating, or you think that she's just beating around, that's on you. It's your responsibility to fucking be like a grown ass human being and just take the L. Like you don't always have to have closure. We're not always going to get closure in every single thing. Every communication that we have with a single person isn't going to have closure. I fucking have autism too. I'm not going to sit here and be like, oh, because of my autism, I can't read like personal interactions with people. Like sometimes shit's just that easy that you can read it.
And autistic people can learn too.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah. So
Exactly.
for
Don't
clarification,
infantilize
the
everyone.
reason why I've been bringing up most of the points I have the whole night is because I'm also autistic, and I don't have so much this issue anymore, but I did as I was like, so I was homeschooled for a little while, which like as an autistic person, that's the worst fucking thing you can do to your kid is homeschool them because they're already behind on social skills. They don't need to be put behind more. But that happened to me. And like shit happened in high school. I was into this girl and I never got a straight answer. And sadly, my communication skills just weren't there yet. Like it sucks. It's not my fault that I was homeschooled and autistic at the same time, but it just happens. Like all I'm saying is that if possible, women should try to be more direct, but also, if possible, which it shouldn't even be an if possible, it is possible because you have the choice as a man to put it in the easiest, simplest terms as possible. Like Chris said, like give them as many outs as you can before you ask them.
Okay.
That way it is easier for the woman to give you a direct
Let's
answer
go
too.
to
Like,
let's go to Fines, Novasun, and then I think Amanda wanted to say something. So Fines. Fines. If you talk, yep, there you go.
My bad. The only thing I had to say was on and honestly, this isn't that much of a contribution, so I'm just gonna say it and move on, and just then listen because I'm actually genuinely enjoying like a lot of these takes here. But what I was gonna say is that like as a I was gonna bring up how like as a gay man I go like whenever I go into like new spaces it sometimes feels like I can never really like know who's gonna be homophobic or who's gonna be like fucking, you know, problematic that my boyfriend is trans or like is gonna have a problem with like anything that I fucking do, you know. But this isn't really part of that conversation, so I'm just gonna move on.
No, you could.
I'm really enjoying y'all's perspectives, and like this is an interesting fucking conversation. So yeah.
Oh, okay. But if you do want to share it, you can. Like, it doesn't matter if it's like off topic. Just, but if you want to get off your chest.
Nah, you're good. I have no takes on this. This is just fucking interesting.
I feel like it is part of it because maybe that feeling is the same feeling why I feel like I can't always be. Well, now I'm way more direct, but younger that I was not as direct because of those same feelings, not knowing the uncertainty, the scariness of how people are going to react.
I personally think that like this conversation is more in a way about ableism, but like it's also not about ableism because it's also about like women being able to like have a fucking space to like not be fucking you know held to a different standard. I don't know, it's really complicated and these like are really intricate like complicated fucking discussions. It really just depends on like what framework you're using, and it really just depends on like the situation as well, because like when we're talking about non-autistic people, right, like neurotypical people, like if a neurotypical person isn't reading that body language, then like I don't even know what to tell you, because like if you're just not reading that language, like as a neurotypical fucking person who probably 100% knows that body language, then like it really does seem like you might just be like hurt or like there might be fear going on. But for an autistic person it would be different, right? It would be like you literally don't know what's going on. You literally are anxious, or like not even anxious, but like you just don't know what the fuck is going on. So yeah, that's all I had to say on that.
I want to say something when it comes to autistic people, and I noticed this because like a lot that I've run into having a conversation, even just in normal conversations, like they will set you up to let you know, like, hey, I might not be reading this correctly. If like as an argument, something pops off, or like, or just like when they go to answer a question or give their take, right, they'll let you know that I might not be reading this correctly, and like so like because of my social unawareness, so like just like bear with me, I this is what I'm seeing here, right? And like I think a lot of times a lot of autistic people, especially when they're early diagnosed, they go through a lot of these learning lessons, like they're taught to set these things up, right? To protect themselves when it comes to these things. So like a lot of times it's like autistic, like there's some like undiagnosed people out there who just like can't read those body language things like that. They're not taught to be safe. But a lot of autistic people, if they've been diagnosed, that they know, and they've been going through therapy sessions or just learning sessions about how to interact in society, they know how to, if they need to, if they want to ask someone out, right? Because of social their social awareness, they don't usually have trouble asking the question. The problem comes in what to do with the response. So what they'll do is set up I'm autistic. I don't know. I don't want to make you feel uncomfortable. I'm just gonna ask us out just out there outright, and they'll make you feel safe. I've for a lot of autistic people I've met, they, even when they don't need to, they try to make me feel safe in a conversation, or just try to ease me into it, let me know they're I may not be seeing this
Dude.
the same way you are.
Yeah,
So
I have a terrible tendency with asking clarifying questions way too much.
I would
Yeah,
say,
same,
dude,
dude.
you are
Same,
so
yeah.
right on that.
So let's.
Because
But let's be
hold
clear,
on,
there is a
hang on.
lot of people who get diagnosed late too.
Let Fines
Sorry.
finish his point, and then I want to go to Nova and then Amanda. Fines.
Just finish my point and say that I'm in a close, intimate relationship with an autistic person. What literally from my fucking experience, I have had to literally not rewire my brain, but I have had to actually fucking make an effort to make sure that I'm not overstepping boundaries, that I'm not fucking making their fucking life hard, or that I'm not going over a trigger or whatever. Dude, I can't even imagine what a random hookup neurotypical girl, or a random friend girl neurotypical girl, I can't even imagine from their perspective how it might be, because because getting intimate with an autistic person is genuinely a thing that I'm pretty sure I have ADHD. I'm not diagnosed, so I'm just gonna say I'm neurotypical, and I'm just gonna say that it has been a struggle at times to get those readings in, to make sure I'm knowing what's going on, to make sure I'm being make sure I'm actually just taking their word for it, that I'm not going on into my own little bullshit of what do they mean by this, or what are their body, you know what I'm saying? So what I'm saying is that if a neurotypical girl is in a situation where they are uncomfortable, or if they are not really, they don't really know what's going on. I agree with 9 out of Ben's position on a lot of this, but I also want to say that the neurotypical autistic difference there is also really fucking important. And it's really fucking complicated, because literally I'm in a close relationship, and I don't even get all the cues. I don't even know all the things, you know what I'm saying? I am still learning constantly what the boundaries are, what I'm supposed to say, how I can not be a fucking problem, or how they cannot be a fucking problem, because it's both people. And this is where I'll agree with 9 out of Ben. It's
moving. I'm sorry, we just gotta move
yeah,
things.
that's my position.
Well, thank you so much. I do appreciate that. Go ahead. Sorry, Nova, and then Amanda.
Cool. I've got 2 questions for you. As everyone here, basically, in the idea that there are a minority of women, I'm probably going to ask the questions in the order that is less intrusive, hopefully.
Oh boy.
So we got a scenario essentially that we are able to ask a woman, are you interested in me? Yes, no. And we've got the 2 scenarios. Woman says yes, and I as a person need to be non-weird. How are you able to get outside of being a gamer? Basically, how do you react? How do you get from the on point? The more important question that I'm coming from this scenario is, woman says that you need to stop. I'm not interested at all. Are we able to understand that answer? I think is the better question there. So basically, we say women yes, women no. But women no, do we understand the answers that are coming from that?
No should mean no.
Yeah, you
No
just
means
stop.
no.
Yes
What the
means
fuck?
make a
Yeah,
date.
I don't understand. Yeah. I don't think that's difficult.
That one's
Yeah,
free.
maybe I'm not understanding the
Yeah, that's
question
free
fully,
though
but
for
like
an
I just
autistic
figure
person.
like it's a pretty simple like she says no, you just stop. There's not much to understand, right?
Yeah,
So
hope we
what's the
don't have
next
any of
question?
those.
So
What
then,
was the
sorry,
next
the question then comes to the women. Like, have you had scenarios that are where the no is apparent and you cannot get that across?
Yeah, some people are pushy.
This is too
It's
personal
less
of a
about
question
getting
for
it
me.
across, and
Okay, fair enough.
it's less about getting it across, and it's more about like what the fuck the guy does. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's more about like how the guy is responding, like what the guy like wants to do, or what the guy like feels they have to do out of fear or emotions. It's complicated.
For me, it's more about like, for me, it's the after effect of the response. Like a yes is always going to be, okay, it might be awkward, but it's going to be pleasant. No is going to be possibly very uncomfortable for me, could put me out of my mood, could give me a migraine. Like, and I think we need to normalize people accepting no, and that would make it way easier for people to say no.
I think
Because
something.
if we're worried about all this other
Thanks,
stuff
lady.
happening,
Yeah,
what's
that's perfect.
actually happening?
I think that something's important with no is like especially when we had the conversation about safety, and this isn't me picking on Amanda. This is just something she brought up. Like safety to her didn't just include her physical safety. She was talking about like I want to protect the friendship. I want to protect like being able to go on streams. Like she brought up these other things, and it sounds unsympathetic, but I don't care about any of those things. I don't think any of those things are valid because I don't believe you have like a right to keep any of those things. I don't think any of those things, like I have an agency as the other person in this, like or in our dynamic, to if this doesn't work out and I don't want to be friends, I have agency to no longer be friends. Just like Lady said.
What about a
like
job?
So you
each
were never
person only.
friends.
No, I mean, I can.
Right? You're never friends.
Listen, you don't get to make that definition. You don't get to make that definition.
If
I can
someone,
I can
if
be
my
friends,
friendship
and I do
is
not want.
predicated on
Wait a
pussy,
second.
that
Wait a
is
second.
somebody finding pussy out of me. That is not.
You can feel that way. You can feel that way. But I'm
And
saying,
that, it's not a feeling because it's like if my
feeling. It's
friendship
absolutely
was predicated
because we have
upon
different
you being
opinions.
rich,
So
then I am
it's
not your
literally
girlfriend. I am a
this is
hoe.
literally your opinion. This is what I'm saying. I'm saying you can feel that way. I'm saying that I don't think anyone has a right to take the agency of like I want to give my response, and then I also want to control like outside of like their physical safety. I want to control how this person reacts, and I don't think you get to make that
You
call for
feel
them.
like you are
I don't think you
so
can
you
follow this down.
Hold on. That just went
No,
clear off me because I also
let me
talked
finish
about
what I'm saying because everybody's pushing back before I even finish my work. Everybody's
if
got
you are
30 second
that type of
pushback.
person. They're doing it by accident.
I thought you were done.
I'm
Sorry, continue.
Yeah, my bad. I'm saying I don't think you get to control the same way if a woman like you can ask a girl as nice as you want and she still has a right to say no. That girl can say no as nice as she want, as direct as she want, or indirect as she want, and then like or yes, and then from that point I also have the agency to make whatever decision I want to in that matter, not to like disrespect you and not to like harm you physically, but I like
Hold on though, Black.
I don't think we have to. No, I'm not gonna hold on. I'm not gonna hold on. Let me finish.
Sorry, Black.
We're trying to say that it's bad if you decide I don't like this is it's too much for me to continue this friendship. I think that's super valid thing for someone to say. We're all adults. We have agency. If I don't feel comfortable doing this anymore, I should have a right to do that. And I don't think that that's something that makes you a bad person. Because just like Lady said, everybody's their own individual person, and everybody like can make their own calls on what they do with their life. So yes, that's just something.
So Bam, I agree, and I'll toss this to Amanda next. Bam, I actually have made a similar argument months and months and months ago, and I get what you're trying to say, and that like a person's gonna have feelings about any interactions that they have, right? And getting rejected is something deeply personal. You do not have the right to lay your hands on someone. You do not have a right to make them uncomfortable, going to their, like, following them to their home or doing some other nonsense, right? You don't have the right to do any of that shit, right? But you do have the right to, like, feel terrible. And then, like, this situation, like, you may not want to interact afterwards. You may just like, my feelings are tied up in this, and I can't separate them. Rather than, you know, like me being in the situation and unhealthy for their mental state, right? Like, this is a situation that's continuously bothering them. I'm like, okay, I'm going to separate myself from the situation. It doesn't necessarily mean that they weren't friends, right? In fact, they could be mourning the friendship too. It's like, okay, well, I shot my shot, right? And it missed. And now I feel like I've damaged the relationship, and now I don't know where to go with it. So I'll step out of this, right? And I think it sucks. I have sympathy for the women who are talking about this, because what I've heard from them is like, well, this comes out of left field for me, right? Like, I'm just living my life. I thought we understood the boundaries of this relationship, and then this guy confesses to me all of a sudden. And now I've lost my friend. It feels like that we were never friends. I hear that. I do. But from the other person's perspective, you could definitely have been friends. It's just that, yes, he felt this kind of way, and then he tried, he failed, and he's like, all right, well, I can't, at least for right now, I can't continue on with this. And yeah, it just hurts for everyone.
I'd like to input
I
after.
agree with
Yeah,
that.
I
So
want to
it
say
was my
something too.
turn. Thank you. Anyways, so yeah, no, I totally agree that like that can start. I think the issue here is why you're getting into that friendship to begin with. So if you're getting in that friendship with different intentions of the friendship, then we weren't really friends. Now, if we became more because of that friendship, then of course that's different. But if you're like sitting here trying to act like you're a girl's friend to get in her pants, we're not friends.
Yeah,
I never said that.
No, so I literally just had this situation
Base.
a couple of months ago where I was friends with somebody for a long time beforehand. Like, we were friends for, I don't know, like a year and a half, 2 years beforehand. Then, like, that dynamic changed. There was some flirting that started happening. That continued a little bit more. We both ended up, like, talking about possibly, like, getting into a relationship. Things changed because of other circumstances. And after things changed and she was like, hey, I'm no longer interested, I was like, that's perfectly fine. I do want to let you know up front, though, I might not talk to you for the next like 2 or 3 weeks because my feelings are kind of tied up in this. I don't want to keep like re-engaging those same emotions every single time I talk to you. So I'm going to just back up. I'm going to let myself get good. And then I'll come back and talk to you. This isn't me trying to end our relationship. I still do want to be friends, but I'm just going to have to take some time for a minute.
That's a mature way to do it.
Lady?
Yeah, I think
Like, I feel like what the important difference in those stories is like intentionality. Now, if you were intending to be someone's friend and you felt like something else sparked from that, that is very palatable to me. But if you went into the relationship knowing you were going to try to leverage things in order to make someone fit more into the relationship role for you, that to me feels like something I would not willfully enter into. So at that point, you're hiding, you're lying to me, and at that point, how could we be friends if you don't want to be honest about your intentions? Like, it's different if like you were trying to be friends with somebody and then things sparked, or you had a crush on someone and you just tried to do it, and your intentions were not to like put them in a weird position. But if your intentions are to do that, for me, before I talk to anyone, I always tell them it sounds silly and funny and all that, but I'm dead serious. No pimping and no tricking, so they don't start buying me things and think I'm finna have sex with them. I think I'm gonna have to add to that at the bottom, no manipulation.
I love you.
Base.
Cool.
I love
I
you.
want to know. I want to know where
Based on it.
this direction's coming from. Like that, someone said like faking a friendship. That was
He's
never part of what I
amazingly
said.
fucking based.
I don't think she wasn't accusing that's what you said. She
I
was
think
just
that's
like bringing up.
she did.
She
say
was
that.
just separating the two. Like she was just trying to
Yeah,
There's no intention. I was
No, she
saying
said
that
that.
in the stories, their intentionality sounded like they was friends, and then like the relationship got funny or whatever. That's completely different,
That's
because
not
their
different. That's
intentions
exactly what I
weren't
said.
I
to
think as soon as
manipulate
the
anything.
intention changes, so should the communication. As soon as
Bam.
you feel that spark, you should get to it immediately as possible and say that, hey, I
I would
started
say
out
people
as
don't
friends,
work like
and
that.
now I
No,
feel
people
more.
don't. People don't
Wait,
work like
no,
that.
It doesn't.
Yeah.
Because they're not sure all the time.
But yeah, wait,
The-
wait, hold
Well,
on.
yeah.
I wanted to say something too. Like there was
Okay, yeah, I got it.
there was
I got you.
I guess like a lot of talk about how like bringing a question up of like being direct with somebody, it can put a woman in a weird position too. But also, I think we haven't been talking about how like being direct with a woman can put the man in a weird position too, because the same stakes are on the line too for the man if he's direct with a woman that he has feelings for. Like that friendship, like we were talking about how a woman, if he like denies the man, it can end the relationship or whatever and have bad consequences. But same thing for the man being direct with a woman. There could be bad consequences for him too. There could be, it could end the relationship too. So him being direct also puts him in a bad position too. So, it's like that like communication is difficult for everybody involved, I guess. And it's not like just one sided.
Amanda, I think
There's violence on one side though, and not on the other.
Amanda and Chris.
Potentially.
Yeah, I mean I guess that's a
I
Yeah.
sorry.
that's
I've
bad.
been
That's crime. Like I don't know.
I've been wanting to bring up this point, and I had no idea how in regards to autism, especially with women, and how it's different with the way that we communicate, interact, why women are completely underdiagnosed, not diagnosed, misdiagnosed. But someone sent me a message, and it kind of just encompassed what I was wanting to say. And and I think this is just in general for women, especially, but especially autistic women. So it's extremely difficult for us to express discomfort and advocate for ourselves, because we are taught that our discomfort is something to be ironed out, or and to be more adaptable, and be more flexible. And so I think that's something that we need to think about when we're approaching this. So that's why I think, like, I agree with everything that 9 out of Ben said in regards to the way that we want to live in this world and things that should be, but we do live in reality. And this is just and this reality that we live in obviously is this patriarchal structure that is harmful for both men and women in it. And as we can see right here, it's harmful for the men and the women, because none of us have no idea how to fucking communicate with each other.
Go ahead, Chris.
I think it's important that the reason why this is such an issue, because a lot of people go into this like, say they have a friend relationship that they want to have more, and they feel like they can't be friends. If that doesn't work out, it's just like they put it on the table like it's an ultimatum, right? Like you either do this or there's like this, like you have these two options, right? Rather than coming to the table like, all right, like not making it, like taking that ultimatum off the table, being like, we can't have the same relationship that we had before. Like I can't even continue to have this relationship like that we're having right now because I feel this way and I want to step back. But if you feel differently, that's okay. All right. Or if it's in this situation of someone's working with you or not, right? If you if you're flirting with someone, you're asking someone out, who if you're like trying to get with a person who's working for you or you're working with, or like you could potentially like put them out of position of being in whatever company. A lot of women don't, they feel like when they're approached that way, like that they can lose a friendship or a job or like these relationships or like these opportunities. It's because they feel like there's an ultimatum that they're given, rather than like we're just two people. We want to see if I wanted to see if you want to take this relationship further. If you don't want to do that, this is not going to affect all this other stuff, right?
But
If
sometimes
you
it is an ultimatum, and that's
Yeah.
okay, right?
But that's a problem, right? That's if it's an ultimatum, like that's an issue, right?
But I mean, you can't control the fact that maybe somebody, either the guy who gets denied or the woman who has to deny somebody, might not feel like that relationship can continue the way it was before that that communication. That is just what it is. Like I don't think
Yeah,
it's we can't
that's
ask
fine.
people to not feel a certain way. Like I think it's totally fine to feel a certain way after like
But
I'd love
at
to
that
I'd love to bring
ultimatum
it back to
point,
the original question if I could.
can I make a comment real quick? So that ultimatum though only comes from, like basically what Lady was saying. That ultimatum will only happen, or that's only possible if you're not honest with your intentions to begin with.
That's
like, you can't just go. I
No.
don't. Okay,
No,
hold
okay,
up.
no.
So
No.
I've never been in the. Hold up. I've never been in this situation before myself. So are you guys saying it is possible to start out as friends, and that is your true and honest intention, to then catch feelings and say, okay, but my feelings are like ultimatum level. I can't be friends with you after. You can't ever retrace that back to where you were before?
Yeah,
Because
Some
I
people
can, and
can't.
I assume everyone else
this is
can, but maybe I'm
Some people
wrong.
can't.
With
My
some
point-
people.
Okay, then I'm wrong. Sorry.
I mean, in my situation, we have to be friends. I mean, I've had that happen. We're not friends anymore.
I've had that happen, but like every time it's happened for me, I've always been able to like retrace it and be like, all right, we're friends. But I guess I'm just not understanding how other people work. That's fine.
If I'm going to put more emotion into you rather than me just go after you for tail, if I'm actually wanting to date you and have a relationship with you, of course we're going to start out as friends. I'm not going to go into a relationship with someone I don't know at all, right? There's going to be some type of base I could build off
That's
of, right?
healthy.
And it is totally fine for me if I do after state my feelings. If it's a no, well then it's totally fine for me to take my ball and walk away, right? The dynamic will always be changed in that friendship, no matter what, no matter like, hey, let's promise to stay friends. The dynamic
Well,
will
I wouldn't
always
say no matter what. That's pretty like
no, it will always be
severe.
changed. It's like if two friends fuck, right? A lot of people, right? I'm pretty sure everyone here has been in this situation. Right? You're really close to someone, y'all hook up one time. Dynamic will always be changed, no matter what.
Yep.
It's not going to go back.
I can agree with that.
My point
still be
was
friendly, but that
ambiguity
dynamic will
breeds chances.
I
Yeah,
look at relationships
potentially.
differently.
my point was when I brought this up because we were talking about like women giving non-direct answers in these situations, right? And what I was meaning was that like they feel like there's an ultimatum, not that there necessarily has to be one, right? You as like the guy in this situation don't have to think of it as an ultimatum. It's just on their end, if that's not taken off the table or if that's not like expressly like communicated, right? Then they'll feel that way. They might end up giving you that non-direct answer because they don't know what that no answer is going to get them in the end. If because you didn't communicate that, right? You didn't communicate that like you're working for me. Just because you say no doesn't mean like I'm gonna like exercise your confidence community or you're not like I'm gonna put you out of this job
I
or
got
anything
a
like
more
that. Or
direct
like
question for Chris. Sorry.
yeah, or friendships is kind of like different, right? I think you should recognize that if like that you can't have a relationship with this person, any type of relationship with this person other than that elevated relationship, then you have to get like then you then you're gonna have to end that friendship. But I don't think I think a lot of guys like are really malicious about it, right? They really like they put women in these predicaments where it's just like it's hard to like even give an answer or say no, right? It's feel weird, it's aggressive. Or they catch you at a wedding, right? At their wedding and like say something to you like this, like out of the blue, right? I think you should be smarter about it and just like make sure like the person you're speaking to about like you're taking these things off the table where you're just like, no, I'm not doing this because I'm not holding these things over your head when I'm doing this, right? I'm not holding this friendship over your head when I'm asking you this. I'm not doing all that. I'm not holding you at a gunpoint trying to get this answer out of you. That's all.
Cool.
And that's also just good communication as well, honestly.
If I can override.
Accept weird relationships where they can get favor from different things, that's a good sign on what she gonna do to you in the divorce.
Yeah.
Nova, you want to say something?
Yeah. So let me get more direct on the question for what's important here. So let's assume a perfect scenario where a woman is basically saying, we are done. You don't need to engage with me anymore. Are we as males, like because this platform is predominantly males, like everyone on this panel is predominantly male, do we understand that answer to say that, okay, we're done. Stop talking to or stop doing things? Because the problem I think is that we're dealing with ambiguity in that maybe can be something, but we're not looking at maybe. We're just basically taking a perfect example of saying, as a woman, no, stop.
think we all know that no means no.
I was
Like,
gonna say,
I don't know anyone who disagrees with
know
that.
but there
Yeah,
could be
on
a
this
possibility
panel,
where
on this panel.
Yeah, there could be a possibility that there are guys out there who don't. But if you're
Yeah.
asking us, I think it's probably a resounding. Yeah, we understand.
Okay, fair enough. Yeah, we're dealing with a lot of maybes right now.
I
So
think more people need to smoke
well,
weed every
that's
day.
why we're talking about the maybes, because we all understand yes means yes and no means no. So the only thing to talk about is the maybe. That's why we're talking
They
about
won't
it.
think so much about the conversation. They'll just get high and be like, "Hey, what's up, dude? You want to get down or what?" And then the other person will be like, "Hey, yo, no, fuck off," and you'll be like,
cool. Yeah, no, fair
"Peace."
enough. So this is a lot of males saying that we obviously understand.
That's how it should be. That's how it should be.
Who are the females in this to say, yeah, obviously, women say no, and then obviously there's no problems.
Well, no, I don't think that's the.
Real
I don't
world
think that's the.
application.
Easy as that. Easy as
It's
that.
not. It's not
The
just
no
about.
is the easiest letdown for men. I'll tell you the truth, at least from my perspective. Just hearing no is the easiest thing. Like, all right, thanks, cool. Whatever. Like,
not for every
no is
dude.
great. No is great.
Yeah.
Okay.
No,
Do you
I
have any
want the
idea how many
yes.
times?
I
Hold
want
on.
the
Do you
yes.
have any idea? Do you
But
have any? Sorry.
I want the yes, but yes, there are times where sometimes women can be somewhat ambiguous, right? And like you're not really sure where they lie, or even they'll tell you they don't know where they lie. They're like kind of like, yeah, well, I'm on the fence about things, whatever, I see you like this, but I got some things, or whatever. And so sometimes I can see that that's problematic for the other party. And I shouldn't restrict it to just women and men. I mean, this should be just people generally, of course.
Yeah, I'm scared of approaching them women sometimes. Ugh.
What's that?
I said I'm scared of approaching women sometimes. I'm scared. I mean, sometimes like she's all sweet and bubbly, it's obvious. Like, okay, she might say yes, she might say no. But if she all like, I'm like,
you're like, fuck, damn it. Shit.
Yeah, and the direct no isn't like you can't. The direct no is not like an absolute, because like dudes, like there's a lot of dudes who have power, who have issues with power, like wanting to have power over people, wanting to dominate. That no might be like a trigger for the to try to overpower you another way. It to get you to say like yes, or like not even get that yes, right? And that's like an issue. Just saying no is not guaranteed in the slightest bit.
Are we talking like real
Yeah,
world or
nothing is
ideal?
guaranteed.
Real.
I'm just saying
Real
personally,
world,
like
right?
I would rather just have like a straight up like,
I'm
and
not-
I understand context and reading the room too, but like a no is great because it kind of makes it real simple. It's just kind of like, okay, fine.
For you, because you're like a chill dude.
Clarify,
Like,
please. We are talking about like what
Real world.
actually happens in the real world, not what should be what happens, right? That's what you're saying, Chris, right?
Yeah.
Okay, just making sure. All
Yeah,
right.
I just want to.
Sorry, but no means no.
You're right.
I don't give a fuck. No means no.
In reality,
Everyone.
Agreed.
Okay. Before
Okay.
we spin back down this.
Can I just like go back to my
Okay,
original
okay,
question quickly?
One second.
It's over.
Because
Before we go back down this dialogue tree of like justifications and like explanations for why, like I get it. I'm not saying that like those things don't really matter, and those things aren't things that people really think about. All like the whole crux of this conversation is that what Chris said and what's been said in this conversation is like we should put people in positions that they can give direct answers. Like, and if you do that work, if you make the effort to put someone in a position to make a direct answer, and they still don't, even if they have some valid reason, even if they have some past history on it, like I think it's like I just don't think we should justify that behavior. Like it can have an explanation, a descriptive explanation, but I think we can call that behavior toxic and say that you should move on from that person. I just don't want to hear like the 30 reasons why she may feel like she had to do that. I don't care about those 30 reasons. You put her in a position, she did something that was considered toxic. That's toxic. Just like period.
I mean, if you perceive it as toxic, it's toxic. If
Don't worry
she
about the
perceives it
justifying.
as being tired at the
Unless
end of
you're
the day
under
at work,
unless you're under threat or you're in a very, very bad position, if you're given a yes or no question for something like this and you don't give a yes or no like answer, it's kind of toxic, right? Maybe it's toxic in this
I
situation
don't know.
unless
So I
you're
don't
under
put men in
threat.
that situation. I don't hold men to the standard
If you
of,
ask a
hey,
man,
I think
if
you
you ask a man for dinner, if you ask a man out to dinner, right, and if he doesn't give a yes or a no,
I don't
that's
feel no
fucked
way.
up.
I feel
Oh,
no way
bullshit,
about it.
bullshit.
Well,
I feel
that's
no
not
way about it. Because
unnecessarily
I'm gonna move
You're
on to the
something that
next
can
such a
happen.
man
liar.
personally.
Hold on. I'd like
I'm
to
just
bring
saying someone.
Right?
I'd like
No,
to bring
it's
this back up.
such a liar.
No, I'd like to bring
If
this
you
back a
go,
little bit. No, shut up. Hold on. First of all, a no means no. If someone doesn't go
yes,
out
no,
to
no
dinner with
fucking shit, no
if
means no.
someone doesn't, yes, I know, but you guys are making this sound like there's like this, which obviously, yes, when you interact with people, you should read the room. But and I agree with Black American Made, because we should not be normalizing that. Like it's toxic. So if someone says no and
It's
you push beyond
toxic
that, even if
to be
she wasn't
uncomfortable.
sure, you should just stop. Unless you
Agreed.
want to
What if I'm
ask a clarifying
100%
question.
agree.
What was
What
being
if
said is
maybe
that
still isn't
sometimes it
valid?
doesn't happen, not that it is
Hey,
right.
hold on,
What if
guys.
That's what
I
I'm
Hold
saying.
on,
am
guys. Let
uncomfortable?
the ladies
good thing
speak
before I
their
ask you.
point.
What if
That's
I am
Yes, Space.
probably
gonna
what's
answer,
important
All
right
I'm
now.
saying
answer
is
her
Yeah.
question. I'm trying to answer her
Exactly
question.
that. Thank you.
I'm
Wait,
trying
Okay,
to
okay,
answer
okay,
her
okay.
question.
Oh, shut up,
As a male, stop defending this
Oh
stupid
my God,
stuff.
everyone, shut up. Everyone, stop talking right now. Thank you. Great, 100%, love it. But like, so Dionysus is having a dialogue here, so he has to be able to respond. Respond to what Amanda said.
So, of course, right? No means no. My advice for any guy, if it's not a yes, don't fucking proceed. Go on to the next. There's plenty of fish in the sea, right? But to what I was saying earlier, unless you're under threat,
And your mic is messed up. I just want you to know your mic is not great. So
Yeah, your mic's messed up, dude.
Yeah.
My bad. Let me reset Discord.
Yeah. Okay.
I feel like though that I feel like I already made this point though, is that like as women, especially as an autistic woman, we are constantly taught how to make other people comfortable and things like that. I think we all agree. I guess I don't know if there's a
it gets
disagreement
very
there.
uncomfortable sometimes.
I don't think we're disagreeing.
We are disagreeing.
I mean,
That's
that's
what
not
I'm
that's not
saying.
an excuse
I
for
don't
women,
want
though.
the
I'm
justification.
confused.
I don't want the justification.
100 men.
No.
Just call it
Okay,
toxic.
hold up. Are we agreeing no means no, but like sadly in society, the reality is some men don't listen to that. Like
Oh, I didn't think we were
it's a
talking about no's.
descriptive statement, not a
That's very
prescriptive.
true.
Okay,
And
thank
when
you.
I do
It
my
wasn't
Cool.
talking
experiment
about
with
that.
100 men,
Okay, that's what I thought Chris was saying. If I misinterpreted, cool.
Okay.
So
Dionysus, finish your point.
is my mic better?
Yeah. Yes, we got it. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay. I guess it was going through my webcam. I'm sure Discord fucked
Yeah.
up. But main thing was, right? So men, right? Unless you get a yes, it's a no, move on, plenty of fish in the sea, right? Totally get that. No means no. Fuck that shit. I'm saying unless a woman in like immediate threat or in a very fucking weird situation with a crazy power imbalance, if you're given a yes or no question, give her yes or no answer. Honestly, right? Now I don't want to go down this unless you're under threat, unless there's some crazy power imbalance, this is gonna bite you in the ass. Just give the yes or no question, because it's
I don't agree
not
with this.
to. Why?
Yeah, I don't agree with this either.
Why is the maybe valid? The maybe's toxic here.
This isn't
Hold on,
the
no, it's
original.
toxic.
This
I don't
isn't the
know.
original
Toxic.
question, by the way, too.
you're making being uncomfortable toxic. Some people
Look.
are uncomfortable. People have their
Yes,
own
being
set of
uncomfortable
emotions.
is
Guess what,
toxic.
right?
Personally,
I was
I
being
don't want to have
uncomfortable
to be
toxic.
mama to 100 men. Okay.
You don't have to be. You can tell him no, and then you can tell him to fuck right off.
No.
I
There's
don't do
bullshit.
that. I don't
Every
do
woman
that
is like-
either.
You don't
because
gotta console him.
Dude, that's
I mean, if somebody ghosts you and stops responding to your text messages, that's a
That's
no
no.
too.
You're damn right.
Bullshit.
If someone
Every
ghosts you,
woman,
it's a no.
every woman has to mother and baby fucking dudes'
Bullshit.
feelings because
Bullshit.
if they don't, like, there's a pretty fucking good chance that there's going to be some kind of nasty fucking repercussion.
We're all giant man children that got rejected by their mothers.
Hey, I don't want to say there's a
Why
good
is it?
chance. That's
Oh,
pretty
shut up!
sexist.
Why is it as soon as a woman starts talking, you guys immediately start talking at like she just like not even 5 seconds, and then you immediately
because it was a shit take.
shut up.
Because men can't deal with their fifis being hurt.
Apparently,
they can't
I've
deal
actually
with
been
fucking
relatively silent most of this.
Oh my god! No need to interrupt. Come on, please. Like we were talking about women and how they interact with men, and like women are explaining their experiences, and then we immediately, as soon as they give something you don't like, you talk over them. Hold on, Vivian.
I gotta be honest, right? Like maybe there's an additional layer for me being trans and all, but like anytime a dude comes onto me, that's a fucking scary ass experience, right? Especially if it's a dude I don't know that well. Like I don't really get into relationships with people that I don't like know, that I haven't been friends with for like a little bit of a while, right? Because when a dude like comes out of nowhere who I don't know that well, who's like comes onto me, like that's fucking terrifying because you actually never know how they're gonna react to rejection. And a lot of dudes get real fucking nasty real fucking quick when you say you aren't interested. And maybe that's not the case for like any of the dudes on this panel, okay? Maybe all the dudes on this panel are like super fucking nice and then just like, hey, do you fancy going out for a drink? You say no and they're like, oh, that's cool, right? I'll see you next week. Never mind. Like we'll smooth this over. Okay, maybe that's all the fucking dudes on this panel, okay? But it ain't all the fucking dudes in society. An overwhelming amount of dudes in society get real fucking nasty when you reject them, and it's scary because it can get physically violent, it can be like socially violent if you like, right, where they start spreading shit about you. You can end up suffering economic violence if it's somebody who's like a boss or something, right, or somebody who's in like I think Amanda said earlier about the whole streamer thing, like dudes coming onto you in the streaming arena are like that shit is also really fucking spooky. If you have any kind of like contacts, they can ruin your whole fucking career. Like, and it's fucked up. And I think dudes need to be a lot more conscious of that and be like, you know, when if they want to make that move, they got to make it super fucking clear that it's totally okay if you say no. Don't worry about it, right? Like, I'm not going to react in any kind of shit way, because you've got to be aware that like girls. I ain't gonna speak for every girl, but like a lot of girls are pretty fucking spooked out when a dude comes onto them.
Okay, so we're gonna go to Amanda, and then Dionysus can respond. Bam. Okay.
Yeah, thank you for saying all that because that's yes, exactly everything I wanted to say, but 10 times better than I would have. But I also wanted to clarify the point when I was talking about like streaming. Like so I don't stream. So my point in that is more of like a lot of people from Prime's community will send me DMs and I don't want to be mean to them because I'm a moderator and I have to deal with them in chat. I don't want to give them a direct answer and then them not come back to chat. Like there's like a not just a direct answer, but like I don't want to make them uncomfortable in chat. So I don't want them to not come back. So it's not that I'm like sitting here trying to stream and all of that. It's that it's just a very different dynamic for women. So different.
Dionysus.
Yeah, so like in this world where you're given a yes or no question and you feel like it is not in your best interest to give a direct answer that you think might upset them, the maybe is not going to help at all. Like at all. The fucking ambiguous answer is not going to help at all.
So what you're saying is we should say what you're saying is they should say yes then.
No, they shouldn't. They should say
they should say no.
Just need to listen to women.
I think
the nastiness you can
listen
get
to
out
women
of
and
no
do
is
it.
nasty.
Well, that's fine. I get that, right? Men also can't be mind readers. If you say maybe, right? And we also, I am of the opinion if I get told a maybe, it's a no. That's personally me. I move on to the next, right?
If the girl's given you a maybe, but she doesn't.
I take it as a no.
Wait. No, if the girl's given you a maybe, but she actually doesn't want to fucking do anything with you, then like there's a reason for that, right? And the reason
and I take
is
it as a no,
the reason. Okay, that's fine. Okay. Like, not everything is about you, one specific
And I know,
man.
and I'm saying men should take that as a no and move on.
What's all this fucking not all men
Well,
bullshit?
sorry, the question is like the maybe is not.
The maybe isn't like.
Oh boy! Oh boy! Oh my god!
You're not entitled.
Nice to have the communication with the girl and find out why it's a maybe.
Shut up! Thanks, Frank. Shut up. Thanks, Vivian. Respond to him quickly, and I want to move on. I just want to move on.
Yeah, if a girl's giving you that kind of like non-committal answer, but she doesn't actually want to be with you, that's because you fucked up. You didn't make her feel safe enough to say no.
Sure, or she just might not be in the maybe, which doesn't really matter about safeness or not.
No,
right? I take the L and I move on. That's totally fine.
The issue.
Maybe isn't a valid answer.
All right. Okay. Great. Shut up! Holy shit! Shut up! Did I not say that? I gave an order. I literally gave an order. Like, I gave an order as to like who's gonna go next, and then I said shut up. So like follow both of those things. Thanks. Bam. Go.
Thanks. Okay. The big thing, and I think the only reason Vivian is saying this is because she just came into the conversation. She may be missing some of the context. What this conversation is about right now is, and obviously we can't prove, like, you can never prove these things to 100% effect. But if you feel internally, like, if you feel like the reason you're not saying no isn't based in a case of danger, and isn't based in a case of an imperfect power imbalance. I'm saying if the reason you're not giving a direct answer has some relation to do with, like, maybe they won't be friends with me anymore, or maybe I won't get whatever benefits I'm getting from that person anymore. I'm saying that behavior is toxic. Like, we're removing the safety element because for some reason this is someone you feel really comfortable with and you know that they won't give that reaction. That's what I'm speaking to. I'm saying if you if the danger isn't an element and you still won't give a direct answer, I'm saying that behavior is toxic. I don't think you have a right to protect these other elements, these other benefits that come with your friendship. Like, it's
I would agree with you.
It's a really basic saying that, like, you can't have your cake and eat it too,
Yeah,
because
I
like
agree with
either
that
you
too.
have the cake or you eat it and you no longer have the cake. You can't have both. So saying, like, once you give the answer, they have an agency to do whatever they want to do.
I would agree with you if it wasn't for the fact that, like, for in I don't want to speak in like too broad generalizations here, right? Because obviously every fucking situation and every person's different. But for a lot of women, right, getting ahead in life, like, literally depends on men finding you attractive and wanting you to be around them, right? It's very, very fucking difficult sometimes for a girl to get ahead without that. And that's not saying like that women don't have other shit to offer. Of course they fucking do, right? It's just that, like, men tend to value women in that fucking way, and men tend to hold the reins of power in so many different situations. So it's really difficult to say, on an individual level, sure, like, you can't hold people to, like, giving you this shit, but also if the alternative is that you just live in poverty and fucking obscurity because you're not willing to give it up, like, I feel like that's a pretty fucking hefty pressure on the woman as well.
It comes off as using them, which is
Can
toxic.
I say something that I think
but I agree.
is
I hear what
not
you're saying.
being viewed in the conversation?
Sure.
I believe that going towards a human being with your own intentions, you have all the right to do that. But I find it toxic to put someone else in a social situation and then set rules for them and how they should have to interact with you. If you're forcing someone in a situation, then you should be making that person comfortable rather than you trying to make that person make you more comfortable.
Okay.
I agreed.
Great. Fantastic. To my audience, that's a great way to end all this. Anyway, we'll be back on Monday. More content, as always, right? So if you've enjoyed this conversation, this very long conversation, if you stumbled on this channel, we'll have more of this at some point, I'm sure, of course. Hit that follow button and make sure notifications are on so you know I'm going live 6 nights a week. Don't want you to miss out on any of the content. We will be back on Monday. !social in chat to follow us on social media. And jump into our Discord where we have all this conversation and so many offline conversations. I'm sure this conversation will continue offline. You're gonna miss out on that if you're not part of the Discord. So be part of the Discord. Maybe it's a good idea, right? We want you to be part of this community. So jump to the Discord. Go to Twitter for channel updates and YouTube to watch the VODs. You want to see this? You missed any part of it? Like, comment, and subscribe on the YouTube. That's where you'll find all that. Okay. Great. And because Amanda's like yelling at me. On Tuesday, we will have the Amazon Lily again. We because of Amanda, because of this woman right here, gathering individuals, gathering women.
Oh, it's coming back.
Yes, because only of Amanda. So like all credit goes to her, none goes to me.
Thank you, Amanda. That is such an awesome channel.
Yeah.
I feel like we might have a topic now.
Oh my god, yeah. Oh boy. We might have a topic, yes. So okay, we will be back then.
No means yes.
Oh my god.
Topic 1, how do we play Mother to the World?
Oh man.
You guys saying that really sparked a lot of questions and thoughts, so I'm excited.
Let's talk about that soon as I send all of our wonderful guests off somewhere. And I'm going to send you off to our friend, Jalen, who changed her name apparently. Whatever. I don't know. But she's nice. Be cool to her. Come back soon, and you can hear more of Vivian's wrapper crackling. All right.
I like peanuts.
I like peanuts. Okay.